All right, y'all. We give praise, esteem, and honor to Abba Shamim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. John chapter 5, verse 39. Search the scriptures for in them you think you have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Allah in you. I come in my Abba's name, and you receive me not. And if another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe and receive honor one from another, and not the honor that comes from Allah only? Do not think that I will accuse you to Abba, just one that accused you, even Moses in whom you trust. Had you believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how should you believe my words? All esteem and praise to Abba Shamim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Numbers chapter 7, verse 84.
This was the dedication of the altar, and the day when it was anointed by the prince of the Yasharal, 12 chargers of silver, 12 silver bowls, 12 spoons of gold, each charger of silver 130 shekels, each bowl 70, all the silver vessels 2,400 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary. The golden spoons 12 full of incense, 10 shekels apiece after the shekel of the sanctuary. All the gold of the spoons was 120 shekels. All the oxen for the burnt offerings were 12 bullocks, the rams 12, the lambs of the first year 12 with their meat offering, and the kids of the goats for sin offering 12.
Yeah.
And all the oxen for the sacrifice of peace offerings were 24 bullocks, the rams 60, the he goats 60, the lambs of the first year 60. This was the dedication of the altar after that it was anointed. Moses was going into the tabernacle of the congregation to speak with them. Then he heard the voice of one speaking unto him from off the mercy seat that was upon the ark of testimony from between the two cherubims, and he spake unto him.
All right, cool. We were talking about the table, right? So go back to Exodus 25 and 31 on general principle.
And you shall make a candlestick of pure gold.
Demetrius, man. Go ahead.
Beaten work shall the candlestick be made, his shaft, his branches, his bowls, his knops, his flowers shall be of the same. 6 branches shall come out of the sides of it, 3 branches of the candlestick out of one side.
I got you the wrong spot. Just go drop down to where the table at. My bad. What is it, about 36? Somewhere in there. So we can't find it. Hold on.
It's 23.
Go ahead.
So you shall also make a table of shittim wood, 2 cubits shall be the length thereof, a cubit the breadth thereof, and a cubit and a half the height thereof. You shall overlay it with pure gold, and make thereto a crown of gold round about. You shall make unto it a border of a handbreadth round about. You shall make a golden crown to the border thereof round about. You shall make it for four rings of gold, and put the rings in the 4 corners that are on the 4 feet thereof. Over against the border shall the rings be for places of the staves to bear the table. You shall make the staves of shittim wood, and overlay them with gold, that the table may be borne with them. You shall make the dishes thereof, and spoons thereof, and covers thereof, and bowls thereof, to cover withal of pure gold shall you make them. You shall set upon the table shewbread before me always. You shall make a candlestick of pure gold. Of beaten work shall the candlestick be made, his shaft, his branches, his bowls, his knops, and his flowers shall be of the same.
It'll be of the what?
Shall be of the same.
What else?
6 branches shall come out of the sides of it, 3 branches of the candlestick out of the one side.
Yeah, we good. We ain't dealing with the candlestick yet. What did we look at about that bread last night, Nisha? Don't roll your eyes at me. What's supposed to be on that table? No, how it's supposed to be on the table? No. Peace, brother Omar, man. Shalom, brother Ernest, man. Shalom, brother Robert, man. They trying to buck. Sivy, what's supposed to be on the table, Sivy?
All the vessels thereof.
No, he's slacking too. What's supposed to be on that table, Sivy? What is supposed to do with the table, Sivy?
Gotta set the stuff in order.
Ah, there it is. Shalom, Quran, man. And what's on the table, Sibby?
Got the shoe bread. You got.
Okay, now how you set it in order then? Hey, somebody boo this man. We read it explicitly and specifically. If it set it in order, Sibby, what you set in order?
It's the arrangement.
You're supposed to set the bread on the table, 6 pieces of bread on each side. You don't remember that?
I do.
Lord have mercy. There it is, Brother Ernest got it. And what that 6 pieces of bread on each side of the table represents, Sibby?
Peace for each apostle.
I'll allow it.
Well, that's his body being broken.
You could set all the tribes. That's literally the natural reason. But I'll allow it. Let's go to this oil in the lamp before I cut me in it. Exodus 27:20.
And you shall command the children of Yasharah that they bring you pure oil olive beaten for the light. To
Hold on, they bring you what?
Pure oil olive.
Tell them what pure oil olive is, man. What is it? Pure olive oil. Which one is it?
That's oil olive. Pure is zak, that's clean, or pure, righteous.
So you got righteous oil. Come on with it.
And oil is shaman, that's fat or oil or olive oil. And then olive is kathith, olive oil, beaten out, pure, pounded fine, costly.
It's costly. Read the verse again.
Then you shall command the children of Yasharah that they bring you pure oil olive beaten for the light to cause the lamp to burn always.
To cause the lamp to do what?
Burn always.
What's the beaten out mean?
That's kathith again, beaten out, pure, or pounded fine, costly.
So what you think this mean that the oil got to be beaten out? You can get Matthew 25:1 for the freaky niggas. Oh, y'all don't know that. That's what the freaky niggas use Matthew 25:1 for something different. They say the Lord had more than one wife. I can have one too. $25:1. Won't be nice. I mean, at the end of the day, if a dude wanted more than one wife, you either gonna get with it or get lost. I mean, that's all you can do. You know what I'm saying? He said you're gonna be the tenured wife. At the end of the day, a lot of ladies say that until it's a nigga worth sharing, then they ain't got no problem with it. See, a lady ain't gonna share a nigga work at Burger King. They'll share a rich man. They're like, well, you know, they gotta pay no bills. They got a nice foreign vehicle in the front. I'll deal with it. Like, listen, man, everybody say what they won't do till they present it with it. It's a lot of people say they won't sin until it's sin in their face, and they be like, you know what? It don't seem that bad. No, I would tell you that it's real easy to say, oh, I wouldn't do that when that opportunity would never present itself for you to ever find out. That's why you got, hold on. That's why you got to do James 1:12. Read it for us, here. I ain't saying in that regard, but it's a lot of stuff people, oh, I would never do that. You ain't got to worry about it. You ain't never find out.
Baruch is the man that endured temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him.
Go ahead.
Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of Elohim.
Why?
Elohim cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempt he any man.
What else?
But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed.
You see what happens? You get drawn away by your own desire. And that's what's going to try you. Go ahead.
Then when lust hath conceived, it bring forth sin, and sin, when it is finished, bring forth death.
Therefore,
do not err, my beloved brethren.
And we all know what he said in Matthew. What he told you to do in Matthew 6? You
Watch
better
and pray.
Unless you what?
Enter into temptation.
Why?
The flesh, the rock is willing, but the flesh is weak.
And when you got the prayer, what he told you to pray? When he told you to pray to your Abba, what's one of the things he told you to pray for? To lead you not into what?
Temptation.
Yeah, don't lead. Say, please don't let me get tested, because he already know you're going to fall. I would say it's real easy to say, I'd never do that. Yeah, don't say what you'll never do, because you won't know, because you ain't been in that situation or circumstance to know what you'll do. Unless you've been in that situation or circumstance, then you can say what you would do. But if you ain't been in it, you don't know what you'll do. Like case in point, just I was watching that video, they be talking about blue telling. It's a lot of niggas say a lot of things. You wouldn't know what you would do if you was in his shoes, because you ain't been in it. You ain't never had a nigga call you talking about come pick him up and they just kill somebody. And now you sitting in jail and you ain't had nothing to do with it, and you like this here. Now you ain't supposed to say something. That's your son, but your son know you ain't had nothing to do with it. So you gonna let me go to prison for 20 years? 99.9% of you niggas gonna tell on your son. You gonna get right up there? Yeah, that's him on that video. You know why? Because you don't want to go do 20, 25 years for him. Yes, that sounds good when you virtue signaling on the internet till you face with, you come do this or do 25 years. And you 50, 60 years old. You finna do 20 years for your son? You would? My son going to prison. I ain't had nothing to do with it, and you know I ain't had nothing to do with it. I'm not going to jail for you. Yeah, that doesn't sound cool till you in that doggone system. You ain't never been in that child line. You ain't never been in a circle with 50 other men butt naked and they talking about squat and cough. You ain't never had a grown man tell you put your head on the bench and spread your butt open. Yeah, that doesn't sound good till you live in that, and that's gonna be your reality for 25 years. And I ain't had nothing to do with it. Oh, son, you going to prison. Because you shouldn't have called me. Because it's the same way, right? If me and you riding, and you know I don't do no drug dealing, no criminal activity, and you got guns and dope in the car, I'm gonna give you 5 minutes to tell the cracker that's yours. Because you going to jail. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't live that life. I don't live by the rules no more. I'm not gonna throw my life away so I can tell some niggas I don't know I kept it real. I'm not a gangster. I'm not a criminal anymore. When I was a criminal, I ain't gonna say nothing. Shoot, cracker, do your job. Now, you gonna do your job, or I'm gonna do it for you. You know what I'm saying? That stuff sounds good when you see that, because I'll never do my child like that until you sitting in a jail cell with that jumpsuit on, shackled up like a slave, and they talking about, yeah, man, we offering you 25 years unless you do this. And you know you ain't had nothing to do with it. And you talking about, but that's my child. But your child clearly don't give a damn about you. Because why would they put you in this situation and circumstance? But you don't look at it that way. That nigga gonna have to take accountability for his actions. You think the Lord finna go to jail for you? He died for you. He ain't going to hell for you. You gonna have to, and we don't be wanting to hear that, because that's my son. But your son didn't care about you though. Because he made a decision knowing it could wreck your life, he didn't care. And that's why a lot of little boys do the stuff they do, because somebody always gonna come through and take the accountability away from him, and he can walk away and you suffering the consequences, and you think that make you a good parent. It make you a damn fool. Because I promise you, your God won't do that. You gonna go on your own. That's different if I knew about it. I gotta go ahead and do that bid now. You can't call me after you killed the nigga and then, yeah, do this and do that. Now, see the street nigga in is why he burnt the clothes. Because if I was him, I probably did the same thing. God damn it. Because I got to make sure this don't come back to me, too. You really think a nigga would come pick a nigga up in a homicide in his own car? With his own tag, in his own name? Who gonna do that if they knew what was going on? Ain't nobody that damn stupid.
And I think the critical part is, once you see that we done all got caught, you supposed to go ahead and tell them I ain't have nothing to do with it. It was the fact that your son saved me.
And your co-defendant is already telling on you.
Yeah.
They don't even need me.
Right.
Your co-defendant telling on you.
Once you see your son come in,
And I sat in here for 3 years waiting for you to say, man, my dad ain't had nothing to do with that.
yeah.
My uncle ain't had nothing to do with that. You like, no, I ain't saying nothing. I think I can beat it. Mm-hmm. I'm only referencing that because it's everybody on the outside talking about what they would do. And you don't know what you would do. Because you ain't in that situation or circumstance. I didn't say nothing either. I know why he did it. Because I've been incarcerated with people who, you know what I'm saying? Shoot, that boy said something as soon as he went in interrogation. But at the same token, now this is to be honest with you, because I had a homeboy got put in a position like this. They wanted him to come testify to stuff that they already knew. So the reality is you not telling because they already know this information. If you say you don't know it, now you just call another charge. You know what I'm saying? Now you don't call a perjury charge. Now I would advise y'all, even if you kill somebody in self-defense, have your lawyer talk to the people. Yeah, don't ever talk to the police without an attorney. Don't ever do it. Say, I just want my lawyer to talk to you. Because you think you can talk your way out of it, and you're going to talk your way to prison, and you in the right. Yeah, don't ever talk to the police. Oh, I can shoot. You ain't even got it. Before you start walking with that, you might as well just turn around and take me to booking, cuz. You ain't even know any fit didn't walk. I ain't got nothing to say. Don't call me down here. I don't want to talk to you, man. This is not gonna work out in my benefit. I need an advocate. All right, you see how we did that? You don't know what that is, do you? You don't know what that passage is. He ain't pick up on it.
That's where we have an advocate, man.
Where that's at then? Where's that then?
No. Propitiation for our sins. I don't know.
He knew enough of it though. Yeah. Give him 1 John 2:1. He knew enough.
Say, my little children, these things write I unto you that you sin not. And if any man sin, we have an advocate with the Abba, Yahushua HaMashiach the righteous.
Tell him what an advocate is.
That is perigletos, summoned, called to one side, called to one's aid, one who pleads another's cause before a judge.
The reason why I'm dealing with this is because we're gonna get to something in the law with the stuff with the tabernacle. But go ahead.
Since he is the propitiation for our sins, and not for ours only, but also for the sins of the whole world.
Cool. Go to Matthew 25:1. But the only reason I mention that is don't be quick and be in haste of saying I would do this, I wouldn't do that, because the Lord will put you in a situation where you'll be tried for you to find out. Which is why he told you when you pray, lead us not into temptation. You know what I'm saying? And Paul wrote to you in Corinthians that he won't allow you to be tempted above that which you are able. And then that he make an exit. But everybody don't choose that exit hatch. Because everybody ain't that strong. Or just like it says in Galatians, what we read a couple weeks ago, those that are spiritual restore each other in meekness, lest you be tried. So having that attitude like, oh, I would never do that. The Lord will show you. You be looking more fool than the white-faced mule, so don't do it. Go ahead, sir.
Then shall the kingdom of Shamaim be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. 5 of them were wise, 5 were foolish. They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight there was a cry made, Behold, the bridegroom come, go you out to meet him. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. The foolish said unto wise, Give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out. But the wise answered, saying, Not so, lest there be not enough for us and you, but go you rather to them that sell and buy for yourselves.
Hey, Jay say, I know what I'm going to do. She said, to jail you go. Because action got consequences. Now, all jokes aside, even we're going to get to this here because this is what this parable point to, actions do have consequences. And the one thing about little boys, little girls too, because a lot of young women act the way that they act because they got passes as a child. So when they become a woman, they think they still supposed to get them passes. I told you when a dude told a dude I do business with, we were having a girl, oh, she gonna have you wrapped around your finger. Shoot, you lying to me. I don't care nothing about no cute face. I don't care nothing about no tears. I don't care nothing about no lip getting poked out. You're gonna take accountability for the things that you do. I'm not giving you no pass. Because you my daughter. Give you a pass for what? You wrong. You know what ends up happening when you, as a child, you get a pass? You become an adult who becomes entitled, who think they're supposed to get a pass. Who behaves a certain type of way towards people because nobody held you accountable as a child. Now, little boys need to learn there's consequences for what you do. What? You can't do whatever they think that you just gonna get away scot-free. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of, at least where our women, that's how you complain about these grown men because look what you do to them. Every time he don't do something how you want him to do it, you step in and do it for him. You know what I'm saying? You make his life easy. He ain't got no structure. He ain't got no discipline. Or instead of actually instructing him, you screaming and hollering at him. So that's gonna make it worse. Now you done emasculated him, and now he think consequences is he gets belittled mentally and emotionally. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he gotta have consequences. Yeah, you can do that, son, and you're gonna suffer the consequences. I'm not bailing you out. When I say bail you out, I mean I'm not gonna absolve you from the consequence of your choice. You didn't do what I say, stay in your room for a week. You do what I say, you won't do this. Oh, you don't want to pick that up? I'll throw it in the trash and you won't have it, or I'll give it to your cousins. So you can see them with it. Because he need to know that. Nah, you ain't getting saved. You know what I'm saying? Your mama told you this. You're not finna come to me and think you finna get out of it because you coming to me. What did your mama say? Well, then that's what it is, then, nigga. You ain't finna do that with me. No, absolutely not. Because you need to know that if your mama say something, that's what it is, and you can't come to me. Because if she punched you upside the head, what she punched you for? Well, I'm gonna punch you too. Figuratively, though, not. I don't want by the time we get on here. Go ahead, Tim.
And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. Afterward came also the other virgins, saying, Lord, Lord, open to us. But he answered and said, Truly I say unto you, I know you not.
I what?
I know you not.
Why he don't know him?
Watch therefore, for you know neither the day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man come. For the kingdom of Shamayim is as a man traveling in a far country, who called his own servants and delivered unto them his goods.
Why he said he didn't know him, Tim?
They haven't got the Ruach.
You went too far. They ain't what to say though. But I'll let you live. What they didn't have, Tim?
They had no oil.
They ain't had no oil. Now we could go to Romans, the Epistle of Romans 8 and 8.
So then they that are in the flesh cannot please Elohim, but you are not in the flesh, but in the Ruach. If so be that the Ruach of Elohim dwell in you, and if any man have not the Ruach of a Mashiach, he is none of his. And if a Mashiach
If you don't have a what?
The Ruach of a Mashiach,
He is what?
none of his.
What you just read? He said, man, depart from me. I don't know you. Jessica just said she know from experience. She was spoiled, and you do grow up with an entitled attitude and mindset, and it's much harder as an adult to change. Because human beings are creatures of habit. They say it takes 90 days to change a habit, but if you done had a habit for 30 years, I think you're probably gonna need a little longer than 90 days. Reason being, because that habit comes from a mindset. That's why when people come in the word, and you expect people to come in the word and just automatically become godly in 6 months, it's just completely unattainable. Are there people who can do it? Sure it is. Is that the norm? No, it's not. The reason being, we not like the people that you read in this text who were raised in it. You understand? You remember when the couple of instances, okay, like when when Mashiach went to the rich ruler, and what did the rich ruler ask him? Who can tell me what the rich ruler asked him? Don't nobody know. That's unfortunate. And what was the Lord's response? That's at the end.
He said he gave him the commandments to do it.
And what was the rich ruler's response to that?
He said, "Oh, we that done ain't perfect."
From my youth up. And that's the difference between them and us. How many of y'all been taught in the word and kept his commandments from your youth up? So that instance of these people had a framework that once a certain level of information came, they could instantaneously get on board with it because they knew that their entire life. There wasn't never time that they didn't know that, oh, you keep the Sabbath. There's an appointed time called Feast of Weeks. Of course, they wouldn't say it in that fashion. We don't eat this and at least we ain't supposed to do this and we ain't supposed to do that. We coming from you doing whatever. And that ain't I'm not gonna look at that as a bad thing per se. That's just the reality of the life we live in. You weren't raised in that from the youth up. So you can't expect learning something from zero and expect it to be perfected like that. That's unreasonable. That's how a lot of people fall off from the word, because now you're putting pressure on yourself, because now you think you X, Y, Z, because why am I not this? And I've been in the word 90 days. Who told you that was going to happen? You don't even know God. So how you even going to get to that point? You're going to have to walk with him. Take it in this account. The disciples walked with Yahushua for 3 years and still didn't know what they were supposed to know when he died and resurrected from the dead. Right or wrong, sir?
That's right.
We were just talking about this the other day. You know what I'm saying? About the different forms he was in. This was yesterday, matter of fact. Y'all know about him being in different forms? You know about that shit? You know about that shit? You didn't know he popped up in different forms. You knew about that, number?
After his resurrection,
Yeah. That is resurrected.
You told me they couldn't,
Yeah,
he appeared as a
he
stranger
didn't
on
know when he was walking with him.
Yeah. And they say he appeared to them in different forms. She lying on the holy sacrament. My God, that's fair. Come on and look at Mark 16, man. Give me verse 9.
Now, when Yahushua was risen early, the first day of the week, he appeared first to Mary Magdalene, out of whom he had cast 7 devils. She went and told them that had been with him as they mourned and wept. And they, when they had heard that he was alive and had been seen of her, believed not. And that he appeared in another form
He
unto
appeared
two of
into
them,
another what?
in another form to 2 of them as they walked and went into the country.
Give him form in the Greek. He like.
That is morphe, the form by which a person or thing strikes the vision, external appearance.
So he appeared to them in another appearance. They ain't recognize him. Go ahead.
Saying they went and told it unto the residue, neither believed they them. Afterward he appeared unto the 11 as they sat at meat, and upbraided them with their unbelief and hardness of heart, because they believed not them which had seen him after he was risen.
Go ahead.
And he said, Go you into the world and preach the gospel to every creature. He that believeth and is baptized shall be saved, but he that believe not shall be damned. These signs shall follow
That's
them.
good. Go to John 20:1.
The first day of the week, come Mary Magdalene early, while it was yet dark, unto the sepulchre, and see the stone taken away from the sepulchre. Then she run and come to Simon Peter and to the other disciple, whom Yahushua loved, and said unto them, They have taken away the Lord out of the sepulchre, and we know not where they have laid him. Peter therefore went forth, and that other disciple, and came to the sepulchre. So they ran both together. The other disciple did outrun Peter, and came first to the sepulchre. And he, stooping down and looking in, saw the linen clothes lying, yet went he not in.
Slow, Sister Regina.
Then comes Simon Peter following him, and went into the sepulchre, and seen the linen
This
clothes
nigga
lying.
talking about Superman soccer. Nigga, this is Philadelphia Phillies. What's wrong with Lil Johnny, man? Why is this nigga not even here? That's the Liberty Bell. He's on-field baseball soccer, man. Lil Johnny don't play no baseball. He just wear the shades. He's over the calf socks, like they wear on the field. Nah, he's on the field socks. These ain't compression socks. You know what I'm saying? All you gotta do is pull up Aaron Judge, man. This is what they wear on the field, man. I am on the field, man. I'm always on the field, man. I'm a field nigga. I wasn't made in the hot. You niggas like to be on the porch. You like to be outside, man, smell the grass. You know what I'm saying? Action in the field, nigga. Go ahead.
You call it light skin.
Damn.
Shame my game. Let y'all niggas know what Boston is doing.
God damn.
That way y'all get it.
Watch that nigga. We'll have to cut it. Go ahead, man. Lord have mercy.
It said the napkin that was about his head, not lying with the linen clothes, but wrapped together in a place by itself. Then went in also that other disciple, which came first to the sepulchre, and he saw and believed. For as yet they knew not the scripture, that he must rise again from the dead. Then the disciples went away again unto their own home. But Mary stood without at the sepulchre weeping, and as she wept, she stooped down and looked into the sepulchre, and seeing 2 Malachines in white sitting, the one at the head, the other at the feet, where the body of Yahushua had lain. And they say unto her, Woman, why weep you? She said unto them, They have taken away my Lord, and I know not where they have laid him. And
Who she thought he was? Go ahead, you finna read.
And when she had thus said, she turned herself back and saw Yahushua standing, and knew not that it was Yahushua. Yahushua said unto her, Woman, why weep you? Whom seek you? She, supposing him to be the gardener, said unto him, Sir.
Let me check your memory, man. Why she thought he was the gardener? So what that mean? How you gonna prove that though? They can't string it together. Yeah, but how you gonna prove that though? Let me show you what I mean by how you gonna prove that. See, John 19 and 37.
And again, another scripture says, They shall look on him whom they pierced. And after this, Joseph of Arimathea, being a disciple of Yahushua, but secretly prepared to Yahudim, besought Pilate that he might take away the body of Yahushua. Pilate gave him leave. He came therefore and took the body of Yahushua. There came also Nicodemus, when at the first came to Yahushua by night, and brought a mixture of myrrh and aloes, about 100 pounds. Then took they the body of Yahushua and wound it in linen clothes with the spices, as the manner of the Yahudim is severe.
There's the other part about anointing the altar. Go ahead.
Now in the place where he was crucified, there was a garden, and in the garden a new sepulchre, wherein was never man yet laid.
So that's the first reason, at least on the natural side of things, why she would have thought he was the gardener, because he mentioned that. This is scripturally where you can see that at. But let's take it a step further. Genesis 2 and 5.
And every plant of the field before it was in the earth, every herb of the field before it grew, for Yahuwah Elohim had not caused it to rain upon the earth, there was not a man to till the ground.
What that mean to till? Yeah, wasn't no man to work it. Go ahead.
But there went up a mist from the earth and watered the whole face of the ground. And Yahuwah Elohim formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul.
And that's where you see your Yahushua became the quickened Ruach, because he followed that same pattern. That's what I mean by how you gonna prove it. You gotta show your work. Ain't that's what you tell them here? But they do be showing their work, and you don't be giving them credit for it. Well, what you coming in here for, boy? Why your arms out? Come on back, Williams. The John 20 and what?
15.
Go ahead.
Said Yahushua said unto her, Woman, why weep you? Whom seek you? She, supposing him to be the gardener, said unto him, Sir, if you have borne him hence, tell me where you have laid him, and I will take him away. Yahushua said unto her, Mary. She turned herself unto him. Rabboni, which is to say, Master. Yahushua said unto her, Touch me not, for I am not yet ascended.
Now she knows who he is. Luke 24 and 15.
And it came to pass that while they communed together and reasoned, Yahushua himself drew near and went with them, but their eyes were holden that they should not know him.
So they didn't know him. Drop down to verse 32. Is it 32? Yeah, it's 30. You can drop it 27.
And beginning at Moses and all the prophets, he expounded unto them in all the scriptures the things concerning himself. But they drew near unto the village where they went, and he made as though he would have gone farther. But they constrained him, saying, Abide with us, for it is toward evening, and the day is far spent, and he wanted to tarry with them. And it came to pass, as he sat at meat with them, he took bread and baruch and brake and gave to them. And their eyes were opened, and they knew him, and he vanished out of their sight.
He did what?
Vanished out of their sight. And they said one to another, Did not our heart burn within us while he talked with us by the way?
You know, that passage leads to what's in Psalms when it said, open my eyes and I might behold wondrous things out of your law. Because they knew him not when they seen him. They didn't know him until they heard the word. When they heard the gospel preached, their eyes were fixed that they knew him. This kind of come along with what we were talking about last night, when that veil be over your heart. Till that word preached, and then in the Mashiach, that veil be removed. But come back to Exodus 27 and 20. Let's get back to the oil.
And you shall command the children of the Asherah that they bring you pure or olive beaten for the light, to cause the lamp to burn always.
Say it get beaten for the what?
For the light,
That it might do what?
cause the lamp to burn always.
Now he suffered so that the lamp would burn. That's what it says in. Let's come back to Exodus 25 and 37, man. Let's take a look at the lamp.
And you shall make the 7 lamps thereof, and they shall light the lamps thereof, that they may give light over against it.
Give him the Hebrew word for lamp.
This is Neirah, a lamp.
Now come to Exodus 30. Let me see what we need to start at. We'll get to the incense eventually. Go to verse 7.
And Aaron shall burn thereon sweet incense every morning. When he dress the lamps, he shall burn incense upon it.
Tell him what dress means.
That is yatab, to be good, to be pleasing, to be well, to be glad.
When he made the lamps glad. But go ahead.
And when Aaron light the lamps at evening, he shall burn incense upon it, a perpetual incense before Yahuwah throughout the generations. You shall offer no strange incense thereon, nor burnt sacrifice, nor meat offering, neither shall you pour your drink offering thereon.
Who made strange fire?
That was Aaron's.
Aaron's sons did that. So what does the incense represent in the spiritual sense, like what we can read in Revelation?
Praise of the saints.
Prayers of the saints. So then, how would an individual now offer strange incense on the lamp? How would an individual now offer strange incense on that lamp? That's fair. Give him John 9 and 29, 6.
We know that Elohim spake unto Moses, as for this fellow, we know not from whence he is. The man answered and said unto them, Why, herein is a marvelous thing, that you know not from whence he is, and yet he hath opened my eyes. We know that Elohim hear not sinners.
You hear now who?
Not sinners.
Why?
But if any man be a worshiper of Elohim and do his will,
Him.
he hears.
See now, I mean, this something, of course, I know people don't like to hear that. Everybody feel like God hear me. I'm here to tell you, boy, if you've been living in sin, that man ain't answered nothing. And I mean not nothing. But what did he say would need to be done for him to answer, though? That you would need to be a worshiper. What does that mean to be a worshiper, Sidney? That means you would have to humble yourself or prostrate yourself before him and do his will. It's as simple as this here, right? The first time I read this passage, the only thing I can think of is that when I was a child and my parents asked me to do something and I didn't do it, they did not honor any request I made of them. Now ask yourself this. If you as a parent, if you told your son, I need you to clean your room, take the trash out and set this kitchen out and this chicken out, and he don't do it, and then he turn around and say, can I get a video game? Which one of y'all in here gonna buy it? Now, none of y'all gonna do that, but you expect God to do the opposite. I know you ain't did nothing I told you, but I'm gonna bless you though. Yeah, you see how that don't even make common sense. Because you know what that reinforces to an individual? That I can do whatever I want and still get what I want. That I don't have to hearken to you, listen to you, obey you, serve you, but you're gonna reward me.
Yeah, that don't even sound right.
But that's how we've been socialized to believe that this is how he operates. But he don't operate like that. I think we read the passage the other day. Psalm 66 and 18, if I'm not mistaken, tell you if you regard iniquity in your heart, he will not hear you. But see, this is the easy thing. And we would rather be in our emotions and be like, I know he heard me, versus just be a worshiper of God and do his will, and you know he will hear you. It's really just as simple as that. It's not even that deep. But that's how you offer in strange incense in that instance. Because if you offer that, he don't want it. He don't want it. But let's do this, Cindy. Psalms 34 and 25. What you
They looked unto him and were lightened, and their faces were not ashamed. This poor man cried, and Yahuwah heard him and saved him out of all his troubles. The Malachim of Yahuwah encamped round about them that fear him and delivered them. Oh, taste and see that Yahuwah is good. Ruth is the man that trusts in him.
That's right.
Oh, fear Yahuwah, you his saints, for there is no want to them that fear him. The young lions do lack and suffer hunger, but they that seek Yahuwah shall not want any good thing.
Any good thing.
Come, you children, hearken unto me. I will teach you the fear of Yahuwah. What man is he that desire life and love days that he may see good? Keep your tongue from evil and your lips from speaking guile. Depart from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it.
That's right.
The eyes of Yahuwah are upon the righteous.
The eyes of Yahuwah are upon the who?
The righteous.
What else?
And his ears are open unto their cry. The face of Yahuwah is against them that do evil, to cut off the remembrance of them from the earth.
If his face is against you, and you think he hear you? Now, see, that's not to discourage nobody. That's for us to understand the reality of the situation because we get told different. And you know why we get told different? Because like he said in Jeremiah, you know, if these people would have stood in my counsel and heard my word, they would have turned everybody from their evil ways. But instead, you strengthen the hand of evildoers that they don't return from their evil ways and tell them that it'll be well with you. You know how many of y'all have had somebody tell you when you know in your mind you was already doing something that was dead wrong, and somebody come and tell you, no, you're gonna be straight, bro, everything gonna work out. You know that nigga hates you, right? But you know who the people who you thought hate you? The people who told you better stop doing that, this how it's gonna go down. Because they didn't want nothing bad to happen to you. And then you told you you're gonna be good, they didn't care if nothing bad happened to you anyway. Because they really wanted to have something to talk about when something bad happened. I told them nigga not to do it, but you don't listen. Because that's how people be. You know what I'm saying? People want to see you crash out. People want to see you fail. People want to see you lose. You know what I'm saying? It make them feel better about their own situation or something. But come on back next week. I had some too. I meant to mention this to y'all about Mother's Day. Y'all know where Mother's Day come from? Because it's amazing. Amazing. It ain't, at least in America, it don't come from where you think it comes from. Then I had some more stuff about the literacy rate. Sylvia, what the literacy rate in the United States is, Sylvia?
85% are illiterate.
I did not say they were illiterate, sir.
They had a third grade level.
No, you think about the dude who got sentenced. I'll lie. 8th grade level. 85%. We did an IQ test a couple months ago. You might need to do an IQ test in here, man. See, you better not score under no 75. I'm just messing with you. I don't think it's IQ level. No, I mean, when you in the 70s, man, you basically functionally retarded. I ain't even being funny. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you took an IQ test in elementary school, man, and you came back with a score of 71, you people probably gonna get a check. Nah, for real, you people might get a check. They be like, yeah, this boy, he scored. But what I was reading, I mentioned that because they said they seen the literacy rate drop off. What year you think? What time period do you think the literacy rate dropped off in?
Yeah, a decade or
Yeah, yeah, 2010. That's when it started. And they said it hit the level where we at now at the pandemic. Yeah, but they say it started in the 2010s. Yeah, they said that's when they started noticing the literacy rate drop about 15 years ago.
During that time, during 2010, they started doing standardized testing, huh?
Oh, I couldn't tell you, I had been out of school. Good Lord.
Huh?
Hold on, I'm gonna tell you. Hold
You
on.
can fail it and still be good. Wow.
no kids.
That's why the
Yeah.
literacy rate went up.
Yeah, I had a bunch of idiots arguing with me this morning about Now about the little girl in the Fulio case, you know, her judge got removed, so they pushing for a new trial. Now, but I ain't mentioning that. Mentioning how this is the point of what I'm talking about, that people are functionally stupid. Because they saying, oh, she can't get a new trial because that'll be double jeopardy. See, you an idiot. Well, I say you're an idiot because you're speaking on things you don't know. Now, me personally, I've been in the legal system, so I know. Secondly, I know people who have been convicted, because most people don't know about something called post-conviction relief. They don't know what that is. You know what I'm saying? So you can be convicted of a crime. I had a homeboy, he gave back 40 years. You could be convicted, get 40 years, go to prison, come back on appeal. It's Florida Rules of Criminal Procedure 3.850. You can file post-conviction relief, whatever it is, whatever your appeal is. If your appeal come back, your original conviction is vacated if you get a new trial. So that means you go back to starting as if you just got arrested and they brought you in. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a double jeopardy because that conviction no longer exists. So if she gets a new trial, her manslaughter conviction no longer exists. So and her acquittal for murder no longer exists. So if the state wanted to retry her, she could get life in prison if she loses. You know what I'm saying? Usually when you come back on an appeal, state usually you've been and did some time though. They usually want to come up with a plea deal of some sort and just call it a wrap. In her instance, she ain't went nowhere yet. You know what I'm saying? She ain't even been sentenced yet. Now, see, he had a mistrial. So in his instance, he got arrested in 2019. It took him 4 years to take him to trial. They had a mistrial in 2023, and he's not going back to trial till January 2027. So effectively, he would have been incarcerated for 8 years. Everybody's saying, well, how can he be incarcerated this long? Because basically, once he had the mistrial, the clock starts over again if the state is going to retry it. Because technically, at least in the state of Florida, every state's not like this. They have to take you to trial in 180 days. Like if you get arrested on something, they got 180 days to take you to trial. But people waive that right. And that's how you end up sitting in jail 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Because really the maximum amount of time you're supposed to be unsentenced fighting a case is 5 years. You know what I'm saying? After 5 years, they either got to convict you or let you go. You know what I'm saying? At least in the state of Florida, like if you get arrested for a crime, it's called Rule 33. They have 33 days to formally charge you. If they don't charge you in them 33 days, they have to release you on your own recognizance. Louisiana's different because that's a New Orleans thing. You know what I'm saying? That's why when them boys went to different cities after Katrina, doing some of the stuff that they were doing, and a couple of them told them, oh, this ain't New Orleans. We don't have that here. That's one of the biggest mistakes that people make is they think laws are the same everywhere. Effectively, in the United States of America, every state is its own country. They have their own laws, and they operate their own way. And every state don't do the same. Like every state don't, like you could get locked up in Georgia and be sitting there for 6 months waiting for a bond. They don't do that in Florida. You're not going to be in there that long. The people got 40 days to formally charge you or let you go. They get the 33 days, then the 7-day extension. After them 40 days, they either got to let you go or they got to arraign you. But you can go to other states and they don't do that. But it was just the fact that people arguing like you don't even know what you're talking about. It's the same way when people talk about they're infringing on my First Amendment rights to free speech. You don't even understand. People don't even know what free speech pertains to in the Constitution. Who know what free speech pertains to in the Constitution? You see that?
It's like it's like freedom of press, includes some a few other things.
Freedom of religion freedom of speech only pertains to that the government cannot hinder your ability to speak. Meaning that if you wanted to speak against the government, man, peace, Brother Joseph. If you want to speak against the government, you can't be stopped from doing so. Free speech does not mean you can get on the internet and say what you want. Free speech don't mean that you can say what you want. That's why I never heard of this cracker. The cracker cut the bill. I never heard of this cracker. You know what I'm saying? But they say he like to make live streams, run up on black folks, call him a nigga. Then say, oh, you chimping out. Then when you go to hit this crack in his mouth, he want to pull his fire out. They locked up to me. I got free speech to say what I want. Well, he said it to the wrong one, and Cub put them hands on him. Then he shot the man and shot himself. And then people say, well, you know what, Cub, kept this $1.25 million bail and this attempted murder charge and sit your goof behind down somewhere. Because people think free speech means you can say and do what you want. That's not what that means. It means the government cannot stop your speech. That means if you want to make a video, write a letter, do a news broadcast, speaking against the government, legally they're not supposed to stop you. Same thing with freedom of press. See, you can go in other countries, you can't speak against your government over there. You can't go to North Korea and speak against Kim Jong-il. You can't do that. You can't go to China and make a news broadcast and say the Chinese government sucks. You can't do that over there. No, you can't. But you don't have freedom to get on a record and say whatever you want. You don't have freedom to get on TV and say whatever you want. That's when people say, they're stopping my free speech. If the people say we don't want this on our airwaves, they can say that because the government can dictate to NBC what they can and can't air if NBC don't want to air it. I don't want to air this. That's a private entity. And we be getting stuff confused between the government and a private entity. You know, stores don't have to service you. You come in there acting stupid and people tell you get the hell out. And they ain't got to give no reason. You know, you live in a state, you know, the state of Florida is a no reason state. You know what that means? I mean, you can be fired for your job and they don't have to tell you why.
Yeah, that's right to work or something.
Yeah, they can fire you and they don't have to tell you why. Doesn't have to be a reason why. They can just say your breath stink, you're fired.
That's the reason. You know what I'm saying? So,
I was in here in a bad mood. I walked in here and said, you know, you're fired. Because, you know, everybody thinks you can sue for everything. That's a lawsuit. Okay. You're going to find ain't no lawyer in America going to take it.
but you still get, but with Florida, you still get unemployment for that too. If they fire you and don't give you leave, you still can get a check.
I don't know. I don't know
I
about
was just thinking, that's how it works.
it.
That's what balances it out. Like other places, you can't just fire somebody because they ain't gonna have a way to do it.
Yeah, in Georgia, you get fired, you ain't getting no paper.
That's why
That's unfortunate. Yeah, I don't know. I've never filed an unemployment in my life. I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, get that quick, like food stamps. Straight up.
It's cool. You know what I'm saying? I just know that that's the law. But people don't be knowing that you got to know the laws of your state. You know what I'm saying? I don't fool with politics. I wouldn't stop none of y'all from doing it. But if you into it, I would hope you would know who your city councilman is. You can tell me about who on the NBA basketball team and the NFL team and you don't know who your city councilman is, that's bad for business. If you don't know who the school board members in your district, that's bad for business because your churn going in there with the people, you don't even know the nigga who's making the decision. You say, hey man, I be seeing the people be going into them doggone city meetings, they be giving the people hell. One day I'm gonna go just for kicks, just to mess with one of the people. You know what I'm saying? I need to do that. That's on my bucket list. I need to do that, man, before I die, man. Go in there and mess with the people. Look, I'm talking about. It gotta be for the right cause. Why you think they ain't built no Walmart on the beach? Because all the people came out there and said, hell no. Listen, that doggone, she said, so is Indiana. What it is, you know, they built the new medical examiner's office over there on Gold Fair. So the people were mad. But you know why they built it? Because them niggas didn't go say nothing about it before it got built. I'm dead serious. When they put out there when these public meetings and all this stuff before this stuff happening and you don't go. So when you don't go, then they make the decision, then you crying about it. It's too late. Because when they put the public meetings by putting that Walmart on that beach, for all the black folks, the white folks, everybody came out there like, hell no. We don't want no Walmart down here. You know the beach, the only side of town ain't got a Walmart. I'm talking about on the beach. So they wanted to put one in Mayport and they wanted to put one in Jack's Beach and them people said, no, we don't want that down here. And they fought it and it ain't down here. You know what I'm saying? Presidential level, that's a whole other deal, but locally, that's different. You know what I'm saying? Ain't some people ran one time?
He was what you call it, the judge for a few years. They were asking him about like why the youth doing what they're doing and all that stuff.
Oh, that was him she was talking to. Yeah, that's when they said, why they kill him like that? Because we po-ho. That's why. Man, if it was some money around here and businesses around here, you think these niggas be doing what they doing? No, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. Most people do that because, hey, man, ain't no other option. So what else is there to do? At least in their mind, ain't no other option. If you give people an option to actually be beneficial to themselves, ain't nobody finna stand out there on the corner and do no silly stuff. I mean, if that's the case, but your clout is because you have nothing else to aspire
It's only clout, the other niggas ain't got nothing going.
to. Yeah, they ain't got nothing going. If they have an opportunity to do something for their life, they wouldn't be running. You know what else would happen? If you have an opportunity to do something with your life, like tangibly, niggas gonna look at you like, what's wrong with you? This what you want, cuz? Now, if you come from a cycle of poverty, that's all you're going to know, and that's all you're gonna do is aspire to do what is around you. If there is a cycle where everybody can have a prosperous life, what is the motivation for me to participate in criminality? There is none. Then if everybody ain't participating in criminality and you want to participate, guess what everybody else gonna do? This nigga's a goofy. But that's because of the law of criminality that exists with these po niggas. But if these po niggas ain't po, then there's no gap. Now, are you gonna have evil people? Of course. Are you gonna have people who are greedy, who are gonna participate in certain crimes for the aspect of fulfilling their greed? Of course. But we're talking about in general, most crimes is motivated because of poverty. That's the driving factor of crime, at least in our neighborhoods anyway, is poverty. If you eliminate poverty and you have better education, the crime rate will go down exponentially. It will go down. Because now you have opportunities, and those opportunities are actually tangible that you can achieve.
Yeah, because I know two of them niggas who.
Because all they know is poverty.
No, niggas come from the bird and all that. And it's because it's praise. You know what I'm saying?
Because they trying to be cool with niggas who are in poverty. If you eliminate poverty, them suburb niggas don't have nothing that looks cool. Because there's no poverty.
I think it's more because the women are attracted to that.
There's some niggas, but most of these niggas who doing crimes, they ain't getting no hoes and they ain't getting no money. Not talking about no real money. It's poverty. Because the majority of the people who in that county jail right now, that's not too far from here, well, back that way, them boys is broke. The boy can't even get those zooms and wham wham.
I see, like, cause I have like 7 years my kids on my program. Imagine they can read, they can rap, all the kids on, so I'm just like, what do you think they want? I mean, not saying that they will be there, but I feel like it's the influence.
If a nigga can rap songs about murder and he can't read, he going to prison.
That's what I'm saying. Right.
Yeah, but their parents may come from, but that's the thing. We think because they live in that area that they people ain't poor. They mentally poor and financially poor because the mass majority of the United States population is poor. You don't think you poor, but in reality, you're below middle class. There is no middle class. You either poor or below the poverty line or you're rich. Middle class gone. But a lot of times, they got subsidized housing and things of this nature where niggas go live in areas that normally they wouldn't get to live in. These niggas live in paycheck to paycheck. Yeah, but I'm not talking about, I'm talking about statistically, study-wise, the main driving factor for crime is poverty. Poverty and poor education. Better education and no poverty, it will decrease criminality exponentially. You're not going to eliminate it because you're always going to have criminals because you have idiots. But it'll get rid of them because they have opportunity. See, we looking at some of these young goofies on here, but a lot of dudes do crime because they feel like I don't have any opportunity to do anything else, so why not? I'm gonna sell some drugs, I'm gonna rob, I'm gonna get high, because I feel like I'm hopeless. I'm hopeless. There is no hope for me. My life is going to consist of me dying or going to prison. This is what I have to aspire to. Oh, I can rap a little bit. Maybe I can get a record deal. I can run a football a little bit. Maybe somebody will take notice of me and I can play sports and maybe I can get from out of here. Or they join the military. But outside of that, most young men feel like there's no opportunity in life, so I might as well.
No.
And that's how it happens. This is a cycle, because this stuff ain't started in 2026. This criminality cycle been going on for 50 years. And poverty and poor education is the driving factor behind that. You eliminate that, there's a reason why they made sure your schools were terrible. There's a reason why they destroyed your neighborhoods and made them poor and put dope in it. There's a reason why they did that. Because before that happened, you ain't have all this going on. You had criminals, but it wasn't like what you see now. You talking about the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and maybe somewhat of the 60s. We wasn't living like this. You had an opportunity. You give somebody an opportunity to choose better, 9 times out of 10, they're going to choose better. They don't have a choice. Well, I ain't gonna say they don't have a choice. If they feel like that choice is not attainable, then they're going to choose crime.
I get what you're saying, though. I think you only get clout from other criminals by being a criminal.
That's it.
You don't get
clout from society.
Yeah.
That's cap. Why you mad at these white people, dressed up by that boom gang? They ain't know.
That's just content, man. In real life, they ain't celebrating that. They laughing at you.
I ain't talking about
You want to try to do it too. Hey, just laugh.
Because you live in a society now where I can make money from this. So that's why they're doing it. But they don't have to do it. See, this is different. They can stop it and go back to being a cracker. You can't go back to being nothing but who you was. So you're going to get cheered on by other jackasses. But people who are not jackasses look at you like, look at this jackass. Son, stay away from him. He's an idiot. And then you end up like boom game, about dead, and then you give your life to Jesus.
I know. What is Boom Gang?
Oh, he go by his real name now.
Oh, that was the rapper named Boom Gang?
I think he rapped. I think one of his songs was pretty bad when he was on the drugs.
he was criminal. Like I said, he pretty much made content on.
But also he had issues. He had issues. But come on, sir. But no, that's why I mentioned it, because if the majority of our kids are reading at an 8th grade level or lower, and you're impoverished, your chances for success drop exponentially. It drops. Because nigga, you can't read. If you can't read, you can't comprehend. And if you can't comprehend, shoot, you in school right now. There's a lot of your peers stupid as hell. Look at, see how fast he said that? Because they said from his generation, they the ones who can't read. They said, so what year you were born?
2011.
He was born at a time period that they say that the literacy rate started to drop. So that means in his generation, them children stupid. As a whole.
75%.
And you know what they say the main thing that brought that about for them? Too much screen time. But yes, that boy got a shirt tucked in, he's trying to be sophisticated today. And he combed his fro out. And he put his fragrance on. Well, who can't see?
Hey, man, chill on that.
I appreciate it. I respect it. I like it. Boy, you come to see somebody? You feeling good? Well, yes, it.
We just read Exodus 30.
Hey, man, it's 8 feet. Let them know. Go ahead. You said no child left behind, so many children to get passed through the education system know nothing. The concept of summer school has seemed to win. They still do summer school?
Oh, for third grade.
You can do it for certain reasons. You don't need to, you can.
After third grade, it's over.
Do they do summer school for high school students?
If you need to graduate.
Go ahead.
Everything good, sixth grade.
If you would have followed that.
Yeah, redo it.
Come on, man. Read me Exodus 30 and 7.
Say, Aaron shall burn thereon sweet incense every morning. When he dressed the lamps, he shall burn incense upon it. When Aaron light the lamps at evening, he shall burn incense upon it, a perpetual incense before Yahuwah throughout your generations.
You shall offer.
No strange incense thereon, nor burnt sacrifice, nor meat offering, neither shall ye pour drink offering thereon.
Go ahead.
Aaron shall make an atonement upon the horns of it once a year, with the blood of the sin offering of atonements. Once in a year shall he make atonement upon it throughout your generations. It is most kadosh unto Yahuwah.
Hold on. She said they do summer school there, but it's a line for high school students. She don't know about elementary school. They definitely had summer school when I was in school, but that was 30 years ago.
She said it's a line. You know what I mean? Like, if mad people rushing to get there.
No, they probably set a line of demarcation. You can go, but you can't go. But that's it. She said that's in Indiana. So. Hold on, Sibor. Let me read this thing, man. What is it? It says on here that a 2005 study that approximately 14% of U.S. adults function at the lowest level of literacy, 29% at the basic functional literacy level, and cannot help their children with homework beyond the first few grades. And a lack of reading skills hinders adults from reaching their full potential. They may have a difficulty getting and maintaining a job, providing for their families, or even reading a story to their children. For adults, the library might be the only source for a literacy program. And that be the other part. You know what I'm saying? Your parents stupid. You know what I'm saying? And when I say that, I ain't trying to be funny. Listen out there, right? They're saying that, hey man, once your kids get past 4th grade, I can't help you with your homework no more. Second grade?
We just ain't changing how you teach it in terms of the
Say that again.
like the second grade. I have a lot of parents that be like, can you send something home so they can do second grade?
But they ain't just talking about math. They not talking about math. They ain't talking about math. They talking about reading. The reading. Reading. Slow, brother Mark.
It's difficult. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Man, your way, the way we learn it is not the same. That's not what you say. Teaching your way.
You know what the answer for that? And you know what, all jokes aside? And that's why in this generation, you have seen an increase in people homeschooling their children.
Yeah. Child school is a little better, right?
Yeah, see, they're training them for the standardized test. So they have to do it how they want it done on the test. Because the test determines if we keep the school open.
You may know it, but you don't think you know it. It's worded.
And you know what that is? Dumb you down. So when you leave from up out of there, you think you stupid, but you really ain't stupid. But they told you were stupid, so I guess I am stupid. And now you just say, you know what? Screw it. Ain't no hope for me. They do this stuff on purpose. It's systematic. Come on, Cindy, give me Exodus 35 and 12. Hold on, Cindy. I think did we read Exodus 35 last night? We did. So you can just start at 12. That's fine.
Said the ark and the staves thereof, with the mercy seat and the veil and the covering, the table and the staves and all his vessels and the shewbread, the candlesticks also for the light and his furniture and his lamps with the oil for the light, and the incense altar.
Give it a definition of light. That's all we needed, the oil for the light. They just need to see where it's at.
That is Mel Ra, a light luminary.
Now come to Exodus chapter 40. Hold on, make sure I can skip nothing in 39. What is Exodus 39 dealing with, Civic? You remember that from last night, man? 39 and 37. Exodus 39 is when the tabernacle was finished.
Yeah, we talked about that last Sunday.
Oh, that was what, never mind.
And Exodus 40 is the assembling of the tabernacle or the rearing up of it. Go ahead.
What verse we starting at?
37.
You said, but if the cloud were not taken up, then they journeyed not till the day that it was
Exodus
taken.
39 and 37. What chapter was it?
That was 40. Say the pure candlestick with the lamps thereof, even with the lamps to be set in order, and all the vessels thereof, and the oil for the light.
The oil for the what?
For the light.
What the light is, Civic? Oh, that's just in Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Well, no, is it the Ruach? But what the oil is?
Oh,
No, those are
the
wrong.
light is-
What the light is?
That's the vessel.
John 1 and 1. No, not in that instance. John chapter 1, verse 1.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Elohim, and the Word was Elohim.
Craft curriculum.
The same was in the beginning with Elohim.
What that is, Script? You know what craft curriculum is? Nisha? Oh, he might be saying we need the craft curriculum.
Oh, they.
Yeah, and I ain't gonna lie, cause you know that's what the brothers who got the congregation over there on Cassidy, they trying to buy something to build a school here now. You know what I'm saying? Most of these kids probably gonna be damn near done with school, but by the time that comes, but you know, we ain't got enough people to instruct them, because that would be a preferable thing to do, is teach our children ourselves. You know, I always know, but if you send your children to your adversary and they come home stupid, you shouldn't be shocked. White people are not invested in your children's success. There's no reason for them to be. You know what I'm saying? That's a reality that you have to accept. That ain't necessarily to disparage them. That's just the reality of it. If I've come up with systematic things to be able to destroy a group of people, I'm not invested in you being successful. Because our literacy rate and our poverty rate and our education rate is like that because it's by design. There's no other group of people where they came up with a drug and said, let's put it in their neighborhood. They did that for you, though. They came up with AIDS for you. You know why they came up with AIDS for you? Because y'all some freaks. And they know it. You like the hunch, and they know it. I'm not saying to be funny. The people studied you before they came up with it. They know you. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I think I told y'all that a couple weeks ago. Arabs and white people are a different type of sexual degenerates. You know, they like to have sex with children, animals, you know what I'm saying, things of that nature. And black people have degeneracy, but they don't go that far. You just like to hunt a lot. That's why they came up with abortion. That's why they came up with AIDS. That's why they came up with all these things to make sure that they could kill you off. That's why they came up with crack. You understand that they didn't come up with AIDS and crack, our population would probably be 2 to 3 times of what it is right now. I'm talking about, you know how many men went to prison or died when crack came out? You know how many people died because of AIDS? You know how many babies have been aborted? Oh, I got you. Say once your little ones feel they can't get tap out, but the truth is how we can only show the way to life because they could not touch on the matters that pertain to life. True story. Oh, he said crafted curriculum to mislead. I missed that part. And that's what they do. But come on, Sibo.
It said all things, says the same was in the beginning with Elohim, all things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made.
Go ahead.
In him was life, and the life was the light of men.
So that in him was what?
In him was life,
And the life
was the light of men.
So the oil represents the light. I mean, the light represents the light. Or can represent Yahusha as the light. Because you need the oil to get the light. It means you need the Ruach to get life. That's why he said if you don't have the Ruach of a Mashiach, you're none of his. And where his spirit is, there's what?
Liberty.
I thought he was gonna say freedom, but what we need to go ahead and say? Exodus 40. Exodus 40. We don't need the labor. Exodus 40 and what? You can read verse 1 and then drop down to 22. Or 20, I should say. Go ahead, Exodus 40 and 1.
And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, on the first day of the first month shall you
Sister Miriam.
set up the tabernacle of the tent of the congregation.
Well, Sister Miriam said the Tuskegee experiment was they, starting ground for AIDS. See how it worked. Y'all familiar how they came up with AIDS? How they came up with it? Oh, no. One of the documents is in the Hold the Pale Horse, but effectively in the late 70s, early 80s, they came up with AIDS from allegedly a $10 million Department of Defense grant. They wanted to take out blacks, Hispanics, homosexuals, and other undesirables. So most of y'all weren't born yet. So when AIDS first came out, they called it a homosexual disease.
Right,
So they was like the only people who could get it were homosexuals, but in reality, and they try to tell us that it came from an African green monkey.
no, it came out alive.
Now they say a monkey bit some white man, and he got AIDS and came back and spread it. That's what they said, and it spread around because nobody knew what it was. That's the same with crack. People didn't really know what crack was until they were addicted. Because it was a new drug. Cocaine at that particular time, it was a rich man's drug. So if you didn't have no money, you wasn't snorting cocaine. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you remember when Richard Pryor set his face on fire, he was freebasing. You know what I'm saying? We were basically, he cooked it up on his spoon and then smoked it. But it wasn't mass produced. Now, of course, the United States government got caught supplying the cocaine and the crack in the 80s, and then it spread. But by the time people realized what they were smoking, it was too late. They were hooked. Yeah, they were hooked. Then after that, the proceeds from it was so lucrative, that's what started all the killing. Like, I know people feel like in this generation they killing. They not killing like they were killing in the 80s and 90s, by no means. Complete, I would say maybe from 1980 to 2001, it's probably 5 to 6 generations of black people wiped out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but they made sure they put it in impoverished areas.
Over the street, though.
You know what I'm saying? That junk was bad. Like the murder rate in LA, Chicago, Jacksonville, New Orleans. Like if we was in New Orleans in the 90s, probably most of us would be dead. And New Orleans is a city that didn't even have 500,000 people in it. And they were getting 200 plus murders a year. You do that per capita, that's a lot of killing. It was bad. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't have no numbers on that, but I put money that 5 to 6 generations got wiped out in that 25-year span. That's not even counting anybody who was prison or who died. That don't look bad. Like, really, I think New York at that time was having 3,000 to 5,000 murders a year.
That's what the city was ugly, bro.
The New York ain't having nowhere near that many murders. At that time period in Jacksonville was having 100, 150 to 200 murders a year. Dang. And I'm talking about, and that was also with the proliferation of gangbanging with it. You know what I'm saying? That's just bad. That's just bad. See, now it seems like it's bad because it's on the internet every day. Like we didn't really know what was going on in New York and Chicago if you weren't living there. It was bad in Atlanta back then. Go ahead, man. It was bad, bro. So that's what I was told as well about AIDS. Yeah, man, do your research. You can actually write the Library of Congress and get that document about AIDS if you wanted it. Go ahead.
Say on the first day of the first month shall you set up the tabernacle of the tent of the congregation. You shall put therein the ark of the testimony, cover the ark with the veil. You shall bring the table, set in order the things that are to be set in order upon it. You shall bring in the candlestick and light the lamps thereof.
What were the lamps?
You shall light the lamps thereof.
Go ahead.
You shall set the altar of gold for the incense before the ark of the testimony, and put the hanging of the doors of the tabernacle. You shall set the altar of the burnt offering before the door of the tabernacle of the tent of the congregation. You shall set the laver between the tent of the congregation and the altar, and shall put water therein. You shall set up the court round about, and hang up the hanging at the court gate. You shall take the anointing oil and anoint the tabernacle, and all that is therein. You shall hallow it, and all the vessels thereof, it shall be Kadash. You shall anoint the altar of the burnt offering, all its vessels, and sanctify the altar. It shall be an altar most Kadash.
That's good. What version?
That was verse 10.
You can drop to 22.
And he put the table in the tent of the congregation upon the side of the tabernacle northward without the veil. He set the bread in order upon it before Yahuwah, as Yahuwah had commanded Moses. And he put the candlestick in the tent of the congregation over against the table on the side of the tabernacle southward. And he lighted the lamps before Yahuwah, as Yahuwah commanded Moses.
Now, we're just dealing with these lamps. So now let's go a step further, because we established this as the Ruach. But how did you get the beaten lamps in? See that there? I didn't even realize he had that on his what's name.
Oh, yeah, oh,
Yeah. Yeah, that's that sweet incense right there. That's that sweet incense right there. Then go your candlestick. I don't even think we can see the lamp.
nah, they put a hand on it.
White people.
They put some Hanukkah lamps up.
Yeah, they did, because that junk ain't even supposed to have that. We don't want no Hanukkah lamps. And what that beating oil means, Sid, what does that symbolize? Because this is what's going to take me with the other point that I wanted to make. Get Numbers 18:1, Sid. Girl, what's wrong with you, girl? You faking? I didn't know you was Jamaican. You faking.
And Yahuwah said unto Aaron, you and your sons and your father's house with you shall bear the iniquity of the sanctuary. You and your sons with you shall bear the iniquity of your priesthood.
Stop. What's the Hebrew word for sanctuary?
Mikadash, sacred place, sanctuary, Kadash place.
What you think this means when he say you're going to bear the iniquity of the sanctuary? What does it mean to bear it?
That's Nassau.
Ain't Civic answered everything. Y'all slacking. Y'all gonna let Civic do y'all like this?
Say what he said.
Give me Leviticus 10, man. Give me 35.
Leviticus 10. It only goes to 20 verses.
I'm in Exodus 28. My bad. No. Give me Leviticus 10 and 14.
And the wave breast and heave shoulder shall you eat in a clean place, you and your sons and your daughters with you, for they be your due and your sons' due, which are given out of the sacrifices of peace offerings of the children of Yasharal. The heave shoulder and the wave breast shall they bring with the offerings made by fire of the fat, to wave it for a wave offering before Yahuwah. It shall be yours, your sons with you, by a statute forever, as Yahuwah hath commanded. Moses diligently sought the goat of the sin offering, and behold, it was burnt, and he was angry with Eleazar and Ithamar, the sons of Aaron, which were left alive, saying, wherefore you have not eaten the sin offering in the Kadash, seeing it is most Kadash, I have given it you to bear the iniquity of the congregation, to make atonement for them before Yahuwah.
Pause. What y'all think that means? Read it again, Civic, so they can pick up what you put down.
So wherefore have you not eaten the sin offering in the Kadash place, seeing it is most Kadash? Now Elohim hath given it you to bear the iniquity of the congregation, to make atonement for them before Yahuwah.
The sin offering, they didn't eat it. It was to bear what again?
The iniquity of the congregation.
What y'all think that means? Look the fuck. You got an answer? No, I'm sure you like to do the trick. No, you get them turned a hard time.
Because, they supposed to eat all of it, right?
No, we're gonna look at that this from the gospel side.
Okay.
Gospel side.
That'd be like him not taking part in the Passover.
Yes. Read the verse again. Let's take it line by line.
It say, wherefore have you not eaten the sin offering in the Kadash place?
Why have you not eaten the what?
The sin offering.
So what can we read about that sin offering? Tell them what a sin offering means. Tell them what katah means. Go ahead, let them know.
That is sin, sinful, a sin offering. Condition of sin, guilt of sin, punishment for sin, a sin offering. Purification from sins of ceremonial uncleanness.
What did John the Baptist say when he seen Yahusha?
Goes the man, shoes on the man that's gonna take away your sins. Sins of the
What,
world.
he didn't say man. He did say the last part. We just want to hear the last of what he said in front of that. Here goes the blank of Elohim to take away the sins of the world. The Lamb of God. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, you know, in this instance, he's talking about the scapegoat, but you know, goat and lamb are usually interchangeable. And this is in regards to being that sin offering. We talked about John 6 several times last night. We didn't read it, but in John 6, what did he say? In about 6 and 50. Can anybody tell me it's about around John 6 and 50, what did he say? What he said, it. Don't read it off the paper. I need to know it's in your heart.
This is bread that comes down from.
He said, I am that bread.
That's what he said in verse 50. How many of y'all think Sippy right? Raise your hand.
Yeah.
How many of y'all think Sippy wrong?
Well, 51 is.
Let's read John 6 and 50. Let's see who was right.
This is that bread which comes down from Shamin, that any man eat thereof.
They validated you, boy. You should have no confidence. 6 and 50.
He said, this is the bread which come down from Shamin, that a man may eat thereof and not die. I am the living bread which came down from Shamin. If any man eat of this bread, he shall live forever. And the bread that I will give is my flesh, which I will
Sippy
give
was
for
looking
life.
at it when he said it.
All right, so that refers back to passage now.
So that refer back to the meat of the. Remember that goat that's kept alive. What is actually going on there? We got to see what offering's going on there.
That was atonement, right?
Mm-hmm. Because he about to say that.
Yeah.
That this is to bear the iniquity of the congregation to make atonement for them. Now I mentioned this here because it say the priests are to bear the iniquity of the tabernacle. It says that a few times, along with the iniquity of the sanctuary and the iniquity of the congregation. Somebody about to get in trouble. Go to Numbers 8. You still in Numbers 18. Go to Numbers 18 and 15. We'll work our way down. That makes sure, because I don't want us to read unnecessary things. Numbers 18 and 15, we don't even need that. 18 and 20.
And Yahuwah spake unto Aaron, you shall have no inheritance in their land, neither shall you have any part among them. I am your part and your inheritance among the children of Yasharal. And behold, I have given the children of Levi all the tenth in Yasharal for an inheritance, for their service which they serve, the service of the tabernacle of the congregation.
Stop. Give them service.
And serve is about to work or serve, to do work.
So to do work in the tabernacle of the congregation. Now, of course, y'all know what he said in Matthew, his apostles. What did he say? No. Matthew 10.
Oh.
So what? What's that?
I guess bread of life.
Come again, man.
Yeah, bread of life.
What'd you say? I'm talking out loud in my classroom. What'd you say, man? You said it's game day. You ready to play? Give me Matthew 10 and 7.
Oh, okay.
And as you go, preach saying, the kingdom of Shamayim is at hand. Heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out devils. Freely you have received, freely give. Provide neither gold nor silver nor brass in your purses, nor scrip for your journey, neither 2 coats, neither shoes, nor yet staves, for the workman is worthy of his meat.
This is why he said that, because this is what the law said. And that's what he said. That's what it's for the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. Their service is for the house of the assembly. Well, when we look at it in the New Testament wise, who's the house of the assembly? But Yahushua is, because that's his body, and the body is us. Now, I'm just saying that so you can see that out the law. That's where it comes from. Come on back to Numbers 18:22. I mentioned that because we talked about it the other day, like, especially with the Acts 2 and Acts 4, of the service to each other. I think we read some of those things last night as far as in Romans. I forgot, but I can't recall right now what was the catalyst of me going to Romans 12. What we were looking at in the law. But as far as for all their service, or individuals having certain service. Everything pertains to the service of the ministry. Go ahead.
Said, neither must the children of Yashua henceforth come near the tabernacle of the congregation, lest they bear sin and die.
Stop. It says that the children of Yasharal, not even listen, right? Not even talking about the Kadash of the Kadash right here. Where you can pull that up and just say the tabernacle of the congregation itself, they couldn't even come near to that. That tent in the wilderness, they couldn't even come near to that. So they say, okay, y'all got this going on. The priest got to come deal with this, because if you come close, you're going to die. Now that goes back to what we were talking about with the veil of how you can come near. Because they couldn't come near before. Read that last part again, Sid. Boom, boom, there it is, right. Step to the side. Who remember what this is?
Some brazen something.
That's the brazen altar right there.
Yeah.
What's offered on this? Oh, that's the free will offering. The free will offerings, burnt offerings, that go on here. Your sin offerings go in here.
Go on the second bell.
No, yeah, you know what I'm saying, depending on which one it is and what it's for. But your burnt offerings and free will offerings are offered here. That's your incense without the camp here. You as an individual, see how they got these random free white women right here? They can't be right there. Now, I'm being serious, because they don't talk about this type of stuff and they throw stuff out here, and then the reality is not accurate. They wouldn't be here because they couldn't even come within that. You know what I'm saying? You yourself, you would come, you'd make your offering right here, you'd never get here. Not even regular Levites can go in here. Only the high priest can come in here. That's why we're looking at all this stuff. Of course, we can pull the photographs of the inside like we were looking at last week. But I'm just so you can notice it, because they put this stuff out here, they don't understand how serious it was. None of us, if you weren't a priest, could even dare walk to that door.
Only Aaron, not even his sons, can go in there.
Oh, only his line. Only the high priest. So Aaron and his line can come in here. But the Levites who serve Aaron, who work for him, they got to stop right here. Now in the temple, tad bit different. You know what I'm saying? Levites could come do some ministry work in there. They couldn't go behind the veil. But in here, no sir, because that's who Numbers 18 is written to. It's written to Aaron and his sons. Read that verse you just read again and quote it again. Or call it out again.
That's verse 22.
Listen to it.
It say, neither must the children of Yasharal henceforth come near the tabernacle of the congregation, lest they bear sin and die.
Yes, ma'am. You say, what did he say? What did he say?
Say, neither must the children of Yasharal henceforth come near the tabernacle of the congregation, lest they bear sin and die.
See, it's not the priest carried or lifted up the sin. Now let's go to John 12, verse 22, and see how that relates. I know it's a little technical. People don't care about the stuff in the temple, but we ought to know it's in there.
Philip come and tell Andrew, and again Andrew and Philip tell Yahushua. Yahushua answered them, saying, the hour is come that the Son of Man should be esteemed. Truly, truly, I say unto you, except a corn of wheat fall into the ground and die, it abide alone. But if it die, it bring forth much fruit.
If it do what?
But if it die, it bring forth much fruit.
Go ahead.
He that love his life shall lose it. He that hate his life in this world shall keep it unto life eternal.
A lot of people love their life, and that's why they're going to hell. Now, see, what does that mean? Because, in general, people say, I love my life. And that might mean that you actually have a great appreciation for the things that's in your life. What he's referring to is you love your desires, your wants above God, and you're not willing to give them up. Like what we mentioned about the rich ruler. The rich ruler didn't want to give up his goods to be perfect. So he loved his life and he's going to lose it. Because here is the deal. You can't sit around and say Yahushua, Yeshua, Jesus, whatever name you're going to say, and talk about how he died for your sins and you're not going to sacrifice nothing for him. You cannot sit back and talk about a man who gave his life up and he didn't have to, and you want something from him, but you think you're going to keep everything you want and you ain't got to give nothing up. That's not how that works. What's a man's riches, Civic?
His life.
You left something out.
Said the ransom of man's life for his riches.
So if there's a price of a life, if he gave up his life and that was his riches, you're gonna have to give up your life if you want riches. That's why I say where your heart, where your treasure is, your heart will be also. Now I just seen some individuals because the dude was talking about, get you some money, and dudes went throwing that verse out there, which is completely idiotic. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong if you want to increase your life. But if you want to increase your life at the expense of actually serving your God and Ruach and in truth, you're going to go to hell. Because you can't do both. I know we like to hear that you can, but you can't do both. Because he told you what's going to happen if you got two masters.
You're going to hate the one and love the other.
And we don't really think that can happen. I just was telling somebody this about Solomon. Like, you know what I'm saying? People be tripping Solomon had all them wives. He's a king. None of us have lived in a society with an actual functioning king. We don't care about the King Charles and all them type of things. We don't care nothing about that. Kings have a lot of wives, always have. There's not a king in the history of the world that say, you know what sounds good? I'm going to just be married to you. That's never happened. I don't know of any. I haven't read of any. Have you read of any, Sid? And I'm not saying that to be facetious or advocate for that. I mentioned that for a reason. Now, when you look at Solomon, what got Solomon in trouble? Idolatry. But what led to his idolatry? Not only just the wives, but the caliber of women that he married. What kind of women did he marry? Women we were explicitly instructed to not marry. And why were we instructed not to marry them? Because they'll turn your heart away from him. You know what I'm saying? He got Edomite women in there, Egyptian women in there, Girgashite women in there, Hittite women in there. And what ends up occurring is, and I'm in it for a reason, because you think that you stronger and wiser than the influence that these people have, which is why Corinthians tell you, be not deceived, evil communications corrupt good manners. I've told you this for years, and I'll continue to tell you this here. A sinner is going to convert you before you convert them if you continually deal with them on an intimate level. Because they don't have anything to restrain them. As 2 Corinthians say, if one died, then we just judge that we're all dead, and we henceforth live not for ourselves, but him who died and rose again. So an individual who that's not what they go by, they can do whatever they want. Now, what I mean by that, if you're not doing that, your desire, especially what it says in Corinthians, he said, if a man get married, who he's seeking to please? The
Lord.
No. His wife. And that's the part that we look at that you don't look at regardless. Solomon was a human being. So he has a desire, I want to please my wife. But your wife wants you to worship an idol. And not only just worship the idol, but set the idol up for the whole nation of Yasharal to worship it too. And in the midst of while you're doing it, you don't think nothing about it. You know why? Because you worshiping or you pleasing your wife. This makes my wife happy. Remember we talked about this. That's what got Samson in trouble. See, a lot of people think Samson got in trouble for being lustful. He got tired of that whole nagging him. You know what I'm saying? Now, I ain't told y'all this in a while because everybody in here married for the most part. But I was telling this young person this because I'm like, the Bible doesn't warn women about men. Because women didn't go around selecting men like they select men now. That's not how they lived in the Commonwealth of Israel. But it warned men about women. Certain types of women. Not women in general, but a certain caliber and type of woman. Because if you get fooled up with the wrong woman, what she's going to destroy. What he told you was a deep pit, isn't it? Now, Now, what makes a whore, Civic? See,
The mindset.
not only just the mindset, yeah, word wise, definition of the word whore or whore. It's the same word. What makes her dangerous? And it's not what she does with her vagina. Sibo, what's the definition of zina? A harlot. A whore. What's the definition of it?
No, that's what I'm about to say. I'm about to say harlot.
But what's the definition of zina? What's the definition of the word? I'm saying that to get the standpoint of, we think about whore in the modern term. She's loose with her loins. But I want you to look at why a whore is dangerous from a scriptural point of view, by definition of the word. No. That's Pesha. She unfaithful. So when you're looking at unfaithful, this is not unfaithful as far as fidelity to a deity. I mean, to a person, it's unfaithful to a deity. It's unfaithful to principles. It's unfaithful to honor. It's unfaithful to godliness. And when you have that, you can be influenced by that in a great fashion. And I promise you, you're not as strong as you think you are. Because you get caught up. Because Solomon wiser than all of us. And a bald-headed hoe got him. And you know why she got him? Because I wanted her to be happy. You know how many men have compromised their manhood because I wanted her to be happy? You didn't want to wear that matching outfit. You didn't want to wear them Christmas pajamas. See, that's how it started. You know what I'm saying? That's how it started. Those little compromises that you ain't want to do, that you think it's for a family photo. I don't want to put this on. So you think it ain't a big deal, but that's how it started. Little things become big things. That wasn't See how long he took for him to register in his brain. But seriously though, now I'm not saying that to pick at nobody. If you want to put on matching pajamas, that's your business. I would rather die than do such a thing. I would never. You know what I'm talking about? Never in my days have I ever contemplated doing such a thing. I'm glad we don't celebrate Christmas. We ain't got to worry about it. You know what I'm saying? But shoot, my old lady be mad because nigga who, where, and how? I'm not wearing matching nothing. I don't want to match shoes with you, hats with you. Think I'm damn near 50. I'm not doing that. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? It better be an accident. We better got dressed in two different locations. If we arrive in two different in the same location and we got dressed two different, ain't nothing I can do about that. But you talking about coordinated and planned? Oh no, not my thing. Never. I remember niggas did that in high school. Want to take school pictures and everybody got on the same fit. Nigga, get the hell out of here. Not doing that. Why would I want to do that? We work at McDonald's or something? We got a uniform on? Nah, man, be you. I'm gonna be me. I don't want to look like you. I come from a different time where you didn't want to look like nobody else. You didn't want to dress like nobody else. You didn't want to talk like nobody else. You didn't want to do that. That was seen to be offensive. Like you just taking this whole style? No. Yeah, no, man. We won't do that. Now, there's some dudes, but I'm be honest with you. I don't know any men who would literally I want to do this. I want us to wear matching outfits.
We always did that in the State City.
I was out because niggas did do it. Yeah. No, I'm talking about dudes want to wear matching outfits with their woman. Like, I want to do this. I don't think a lot of dudes want to do that. I think they go along with it. You know how many dudes go along with stuff they don't want to do because that woman want to do it? 99%. So a lot of things dudes do that I don't really want to do this, but my old lady want to do it. I'm mentioning that because that's how you get caught like Solomon. I don't really want to do that, but she want me to do it. because you want to please her. This doesn't say that these things are inherently bad. I'm just using that as an example. I mean, nobody can say it's wrong for wanting to do that. That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. I'm not going to do it, but you might do it. You know what I'm saying? Look, and I know people who wear matching outfits, matching fragrances. You know what I'm saying? All that. Like if it's a male, female fragrance of a fragrance, he wear the male one, she wear the female.
I think it's just the biblical aspect of if you supposed to be one with your spouse as a husband lover, like if she want to do what you doing or what you want to do, that's cool. But like you say, doing the opposite, like the Solomon example.
That's why I'm just using that as a natural example that we all seen, because there's a lot of times dudes are doing this because she wants to do it. He don't want to do it. So when that starts with something, it might seem petty and inconsequential. That's how it starts metastasizing into larger things that you start doing that you don't want to do. That could cause you to go against your God because you just want to satisfy her. That's why I mentioned that. Most dudes don't grow up and say, you know what I want to do? Get with a woman and wear matching outfits. He's not fantasizing about that. That's not something he's thinking about. This would be something great to do. No, not at all. You know what I'm saying? And maybe there is some. You ever thought about doing that, Sid?
Yeah, on pt10.
Doris ever asked you to wear matching outfits?
No.
Doris, she just strike me. She'd be like, no, we should. You done did that before?
We get up sometimes and he got on something. Yeah,
Oh, dang.
well, just because it's like, I did it, so he like, nah.
I just think
I do as well. I remember in high school, like, this nigga green as hell. I'm not doing this yet. Cause y'all sat down and planned out and took your hard-earned money and say, I'm gonna get the same. I'm not doing all that. That's the same as me as my wife couldn't dress me. Like I know dudes like their wife dressed him. I would never. Buy their clothes and I would never. I done seen them say, I don't like the way he dressed, I'm gonna buy your clothes. I'm not your son. I'm not your son. I'm a fully functional adult. If you didn't like the way I dress, you should have picked a nigga who dressed the way you like. But see, now I'm telling you, as weird as it might seem, that's how it starts. Of where you start eroding away at your ability to actually stand up and lead and direct. And you're talking about from a godly fashion, because that's not evil communication, obviously. Picking up the flow. Just using a natural example of when he said evil communication corrupt good manners. Some have not the knowledge of God. I speak this to your shame. That's how it starts. When an individual you start doing this and you start doing that because this person wants you to do it, then once a person see I can get you to do something that you don't want to do, I got you. It's the same way I told before. If a person know if I could offer you $50 for your butt, what else will you do? I'm talking about in the entertainment business. And people be like, oh, for a role, if you'll do that, what more will you do? It doesn't matter if you don't think like that. A lot of people do. Because if you don't stand for nothing and you don't compromise, people, all jokes aside, it was funny because I ain't seen Pimp and Snoop in a long time. That doggone clip that dude was like this here, he said, pimping, ho, you can taste it, ho, because you got to understand something, man. He said they may not like me, but they going to respect me. You can't be concerned about people liking you. They have to respect you. People respect you when you stand on your principles and not compromise and cater to their desires. Because this is what I want you to do. Because effectively, that's how Samson got done in. She kept nagging him, tell me. And eventually, dude just go, all right, ho, it's in my hair. Leave me alone. Now you're dead. Now you ain't got no eyeballs. Now, of course, that was a Yahuwah, but that's just a point. That's how it can happen. And I mention that because Solomon got done in because he wanted to satisfy the women. Make me a pole to Asherah. Make me an owl to Molech. Do this for me. Do that for me. You know what I'm saying? Large compromises start off with small compromises. People just don't lead with a great compromise. They lead off with small ones. I got to see how much room you're going to give me. And once I seen you built a whole living room with about 1,500 square feet, I can go ahead and say, build me a mansion. And now you lifted up your eyes in hell just that quick. Oh, slow me. That's how it happened. Where you at, Sid?
John 12:25.
Keep on going.
Said, he that loveth his life shall lose it. He that hateth his life in this world shall keep it unto life eternal. If any man serve me, let him follow me. And where I am, there shall also my servant be. If any man serve me, him will my Abba honor. Now is my soul troubled, and what shall I say? Abba saved me from this hour, but for this cause came I unto this hour. Abba esteem your name. Then came their voice from Shamim saying, I have both esteemed it and will esteem it again. The people therefore that stood by and heard it said that it thundered. Others said Amalekite spake to him. Yahushua answered and said, this voice came not because of me, but for your sakes. Now is the judgment of this world. Now shall the prince of this world be cast out. And if I be lifted up,
If I be what?
If I be lifted up from the earth,
All men.
will draw all men unto me.
When you got lifted up, what that Hebrew word gonna be, Sid? You done said it 3 times.
From the side.
So that's dealing with if he's getting lifted up, he's bearing the iniquity of the congregation. And now all can come unto him when before all couldn't come. You couldn't go to that place.
I want to go somewhere. Does it have to be something you want?
Listen, do you remember the definition of compromise? So the only way that would be a compromise if that's not what you want. But I don't look at things like that as a compromise where we going for dinner. That's nothing to me. I'm talking about compromising is where you compromise literally, I want this, but you take that. These are my values and my principles, and I take less than that. You know what I'm saying? Coming up with a decision, and I'm glad you mentioned it because I always tell you that when we talk about compromise, because that's what people talk about. You got to be able to compromise, and they mention things of no compromise. Going to dinner. Where we going for a vacation? That's nothing. That means absolutely nothing. As a man, you never compromise. Ever. Under no circumstance. The minute you compromise, Civic, guess what? You're not anymore. You ain't a man no more. Because you took less than what you wanted. When we talk about this, Yahuwah don't compromise. He don't do it. When Cain ain't bringing what he wanted, what he said. You know what he said? Effectively. He said, what you looking ugly for? If you do well, you'd be accepted. If not, sin lie in the door. Because he brought him whatever. He didn't bring him his best. And he said, I don't want it. Now, we done talked about this before. How many of y'all done had somebody bring you a gift you ain't wanted, you smiled and accepted it anyway? No, it ain't. The hell it is. No, you should have thought better. You know why I say that? Because if you knew what I wanted before you got it and you brought me less than what I wanted, that means you felt like you could try me any kind of way. Yeah, it is. If you know, listen, I'm telling you, if you know what I want, meaning you know what I use, you know what I desire, and you bought me less than that, you can take that back. I don't want that.
I was just saying it's different from what I know before the kids. That's all.
But hey, if you know me well enough, you know what I like. That's what I was telling you about the other day. Talking about, yeah, get a nigga some drawers and socks. You bring me some drawers and socks if you want to. I'm gonna hit you with that same pack of drawers right upside your head. Don't you bring no goddamn drawers in here. You know why? Because if I brought you a pack of panties for a gift, it's gonna be a problem. No, I said for a gift. You bring home panties and drawers on a random Tuesday. That ain't no gift. No, I mentioned that because we had a conversation as brothers one day. Like, that's a good gift. Drawers and socks. But I say that because a lot of dudes act like they don't want gifts or accept gifts that they don't want because you won't say what you actually want because you've been socialized to say, I don't want nothing. You lying to me. You know I wear fragrance. Don't you come in here with no damn socks. Don't you do that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you will get tried the first time.
You gonna get tried? Okay. I can't speak for y'all. All my people knew better. They know certain stuff they gonna buy me. Let me call and ask them first. Because they know it. Because I'm gonna tell you, I appreciate you, but I'm not gonna wear that. I don't like it. I've done it before. Muffin, am I lying? My cousin brought me a turtleneck for Christmas. I said, I appreciate this, but I would never wear this. Because Rob was wearing turtlenecks. I'm like, that's what Rob wear. I don't wear turtlenecks. I need my neck. I want my neck to breathe.
You're right. It's not a good thing. He's not thoughtful. If you ain't that what the person like, then
No, I appreciate you. Don't get me, but it sounds harsh when you say it. I appreciate you, but I'm not gonna lie to you. And now you wondering that thing hanging up in the closet. I'm giving you an opportunity to make good maximization of your funds. You might want to take it back. Listen, that's why her mama taught her just get them a gift card, let them buy what they want. No, but sometimes women want to buy men what they think they should want. No, that's what a lot of women do. I think you'll look good in this. I think this would smell great on you. You might know I don't like fresh fragrances. You buy me one anyway. No, because some women want to make you do what she wants you to do. And then you taking it. God don't do that. Read it for him, Cindy, just for those who don't know. Genesis 4:7. I'm just showing you the dichotomy between how he operates. He is not taking less than what he wants. If he don't want it, he ain't taking it. So we have to understand that means every time you come to Yahuwah, you got to bring your best, or you got to bring him what he asked for. That's why we even looking at the stuff in the temple. He said they got to make it according to what, Cindy? What we read that David said he put his hand on him that he might understand what? The pattern. He said, do everything according to the pattern. Don't do it how you think I would want it done. Don't do it how you want to do it. Do it exactly how I told you to do it. And if you don't do that, I'm not going to accept it, and I might chastise you severely. Because you knew what I wanted before you did it, and you did what you wanted to. That's what this Saul do, say before you read that. What did Saul do? Y'all remember what Saul did?
He kept all the animals.
He kept all the animals and sacrificed them and said, I've done the will of Yahuwah. He said, boy, I ain't asked you to do that, boy. Matter of fact, he told him obedience was better than what? And the hearken than the what? The fat of rams. It was better for you to obey me to bring me some bulls and goats to sacrifice. Because that's not what I asked you to do. Go ahead, Sam.
Said, and Yahuwah said unto Cain, why are you wroth? Why is your countenance fallen? If you do well.
Paul, you see what he said? What you looking ugly for? Your parents ever came and they said, what you in there looking ugly for? After you done did something opposite of what they told you. And you sitting there, what you looking ugly for? Go ahead.
Said, if you do well, shall you not be accepted? If you do not well, sin lie at the door.
At the door.
And unto you his desire, you shall rule over him.
So if he said he do well, he'd be accepted. So that's what that means. He didn't do something.
He didn't accept his offering.
No, he didn't do well. Since he didn't do well, guess what happened? He wasn't accepted. Tell him what do well. I'm only mentioning to see it's harsh, but it's fair. Because that's just what it is. I'm just using natural situations to juxtapose against it. You know what I'm saying? Because these are the only situations that's coming to mind. That I could use to contrast against it. Because on the natural side of things, none of those things are inherently bad. But it's just showing that can happen. But we talked about this before. A lot of men be wanting gifts for a lot of stuff, but they've been socialized and say, I don't want that. No, if you want a gift, you need to let that be known. Yeah, buy me gifts, nigga. Hell you mean? Then they're gonna tell you, oh, that means you sassy. Well, call me sassy then. God damn it. I don't care what you call me. I want what I want. Because you want what you want and you expect me to get that. So don't come in here and think you can get away from giving me a second helping of vagina and some food. I want to give too, nigga. Of equal value. You know what I'm talking about? Don't ask me to buy you no $1,000 gift and you come in here with a card and a plate.
I made the plate, baby.
No. You can't give me the loins you gave me last night. Talking about this a gift. Been having these loins for the last 10 years. I want a socket set. You know what I'm saying? You got the bread. You know I like to drive Lexuses. You want me to buy you a Benz. You can't buy me a car too? But see, they think you're wrong, but see, hold on, man. That's too much pimp. We ain't gonna tell them that. That's y'all boys better tighten up on it. Look how you looking. Shoot. Hey man. Look here, the Lord wants you to put it on the dresser. Yeah, put that money on the dresser. You know what I'm talking about? You gotta pay tribute. You know what I'm talking about? And I would told you before, you got to pay tribute. That's not on the aspect, now we can talk about, that's not on the aspect of him fleecing you like an actual pimp would, but you got to pay tribute. Because you want him to bless you and this, that, and the third, and he like, you can't look out for me. I gave it to you. You know what I'm saying? That's how he operates. And you're going to give me the gifts that I want because I like the fat of rams. Well, he ain't actually like it because he said, hey, if I was hungry, I'm going to tell you. But you get what I'm talking. But as a man, you can't be doing that. When we sit and walk around here talking about, well, you know you want you a fresh Ralph Lauren polo and you're going to let her go buy you a good fella polo from Target. I love it. No, you don't. You didn't like that shirt. But you don't want to deal with her emotions when you tell her you don't like it. She'll get over it. Where the receipt at? Taking that one back. But you never bring no junk like that in there. But you know why it's like that? Because most of y'all not been socialized to do that. So you think it's weird that a man wants something. That's why they call you gay. I'm gay because I want you to spend some money on me. Now we know the reality is women spend money on niggas they like. But nevertheless, and you laugh, you don't spend money on I know you just ain't laugh. So you don't spend money on the dog? What's funny about it? What she bought you? What she bought you, Sid? What she bought you, Sid? She bought you something you wanted? She bought you something you wanted? I didn't have to think about it. That's just like that lady talking about. I asked my man what he wanted from me, and he called him while he was on stage. And he said, "Man, she a damn lie." I lied in the house of the Lord. See, if we don't buy you something, it's gonna be hell to tell the captain now. Dang it! See, that's what I'm talking about. He like this here. I like stuff, but all I get is pancakes. Y'all ain't right. You need to do better. You talking about who? I ain't buying nothing. Hit you with a tomato. I ain't got to buy nothing. He had his baby. Should you have another? You can buy me Sunday's week. He said, "Don't come in there with no sock doors." No doors like that. She looked like she like to come in there. It's good for quality socks. You did that last week, didn't you? She put her hand on the back and she probably saw these good quality socks. Yeah, but he don't want you to just buy it. He want nice gifts. You know what I'm saying? He want one of them wings to put on the back of the monster. He'll be aerodynamic so you can race. You know what I'm saying? He want to trick that who out. So you get him some turbo boosters. Say you want to earn some money, don't want to buy me nothing. Kind of junk is this? You know what I'm saying? Man might want him a tennis bracelet. You know what I'm saying? Nice gemstones. No moissanite. See, you want a tennis bracelet? Well, at least you ain't the type to go buy him some jewelry when he said don't buy it. You want to watch it?
I thought I were watching. I never were on that.
Okay, man. Go ahead, get online. You know what I'm saying? Buy a nice little band and get him that AP swap. 400 cash. You know what I'm saying? Give him a dog right. Come on, Sid. It don't matter.
No, we talking about you.
See, that's how y'all end up losing. Her birthday coming up. No, we're talking about you. I'm just messing with y'all. Get that man that AP though. Go ahead. What we at, so?
That word for well was your job to be good or to be pleasing.
So if you do the things that's pleasing to you, he will accept you. But when you do the things that are not pleasing, he will not accept you. So let's go to Romans 12:1. So you just walk around with a protruding body lip?
I guess so, yeah.
You the one said that to me, your lips.
Say, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Elohim, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, Kadash, acceptable unto Elohim, your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be you transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Elohim.
Boom. We have to be able to prove that which is acceptable to God. So when you look at the will of God, I think that's the lamp right there. Back it up a little bit, man. Dang, they got the ugly white one. I don't be liking that. That doesn't be making me mad that they got these random white people. No, not the candlestick, but the lamp. No, because that's a false representation. And it ain't just the also the actual functioning and working is wrong. These people wearing the garments outside the veil, all that junk just gets me. Go back to the table. Yeah, see the one with the bread? I know we looked at that. Yeah, I don't see they got the lamp in there. Just tap and let it go. Now, that might be the light that could be lighted from the lamp. See, that light ain't never supposed to go out. You see that? They got the measurements for you. Burn it. Can you imagine looking at a building with the wall gold like that?
I still was trying to figure out how they moved it, like how they said they packed it up. How you move the gold wall? Yeah.
Now you're looking at the lampstand.
You
know what I'm saying? That's no cash rejected. Remember, not assembled from separate parts. It's all got to be made from a whole piece. Now read them Ephesians 4 and 4 verse if you pause it, man, with the whole piece. That whole piece is always important to this very point. I know I referenced it last night, but it's always important.
So there's one body and one Ruach, even as you are called in one hope of your calling, one Lord, one faith, one immersion, one Elohim and Abba of all.
It's always about being a cog. There's no separation. We're not getting assembled from a part here and a part there and a part over here. It's all from one. Because your Elohim is one. Read Deuteronomy 6 and 4 on general principle.
Hero Yasharal, Yahuwah or Elohim is one Yahuwah.
That's it. He won. There's no separation. Go back to where you was asking.
We go with Romans.
Yeah, we go. Where you was at before?
Numbers 18.
Read 23 again.
And neither must the children of the Yasharal henceforth come near the tabernacle of the congregation, lest they bear sin and die. But the Levites shall do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. They shall bear their iniquity. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations, that among the children of Yasharal they have no inheritance. But the tithes of the children of Yasharal.
That's good. Now, we're looking at that because that's their job to bear the iniquity of the sanctuary, which is Yahushua's job to do the same. 2 Corinthians 5 and 7. What's the next piece, instrument in the temple you want to look at next? We done talk about the table, the oil, and the candlestick. Was it the candlestick? No, it wasn't the candlestick. I don't know what we looked at last week. But I know you got the laver, the brazen altar. I can't remember.
Yeah.
The sweet incense.
talking about the time that congregation?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing.
I was reading on how in the tabernacle congregation they had entrances on each side. I don't think it was like that in the temple.
Yeah.
Entrances.
Oh yeah,
to the tent.
They only had one door.
Right.
Listen, I got the pulled up right here. We got, no, it was the veil that we looked at.
Yeah.
And we know the mercy seat. So you have the ark, the veil, the mercy seat, the table, the shewbread, the candlestick, the lamps, the golden altar, the anointing oil, the sweet incense, the brazen altar, and the cloths of service or the garments. Because D picked the table, so that's why we did the table. He's taking too long. Muffin, you got one? You go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to say anointing oil, but I forgot.
No, I mean not in this go round. We have before.
anointing oil.
So we're gonna check out this anointing oil. We'll start that out before we get out of here. Come on to Civic to Exodus 25 and 1.
You want me to read the 2 Corinthians?
Yeah, my bad. Go ahead.
It said, for we walk by faith, not by sight. We are confident, I say, and willing rather to be absent from the body and to be present with the Lord. Wherefore we labor, that whether present or absent, we may be accepted of him. For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Mashiach, that everyone may receive the things done in his body according to that he hath done, whether it be good or bad. Knowing therefore the terror of the Lord, we persuade men, but we are made manifest unto Elohim, and I trust also are made manifest in your conscience. For we commend not ourselves again unto you, but give you occasion to esteem on our behalf, that you may have somewhat to answer them, which esteem in appearance and not in heart.
Go ahead.
For whether we be beside ourselves, it is to Elohim, or whether we be sober, it is for your cause. For the love of Mashiach constrained us, because we thus judge that if one died for all, then we're all dead.
I go back to what I was mentioning earlier. Go ahead.
And that he died for all, that they which live should not henceforth live unto
But
themselves,
live to who?
unto him which died for them and rose again.
Now, the reason I was mentioning that stuff with Solomon in the contrast, because it is very difficult for people to accept if you say, I live for God and not for you. So I want you to go to 1 Corinthians 7, what I referenced beforehand by that, probably about verse 29. Because inherently, I just want to make it be clear because we were cracking those, whatever. There's nothing wrong with wanting to please your wife. But it is something wrong if your wife don't want to please you, but you overly concerned with pleasing her. That would mean that you are a sucker. That you are a simp, a goofy, a weirdo, and you have low self-esteem. No, if you're overly concerned with pleasing someone and that person is not concerned with pleasing you, there's something wrong with you internally. And I'm not saying that in no funny way. It means that you don't have the proper self-respect and self-esteem and self-worth and value of yourself to understand that you don't overextend yourself with someone who will not lift a finger or urinate on you to put you out of a fire. No, that's not cool. Go ahead.
But this I say, brethren, the time is short. It remain that both they which have wives be as though they had none, and they that weep as though they wept not, and they that rejoice as though they rejoice not, and they that buy as though they possess not.
Right.
They that use this world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world pass away.
Right.
But I would have you without carefulness, he that is unmarried, care for the things that belong to the Lord.
See, listen, when you don't have a spouse, you only have to focus on Yahushua. That's all you have to do. It's different when you get married. And there's nothing wrong with getting married, but people who get at least in this side of the game, they press people to get married before they even know the Lord. And I wouldn't recommend it. You can do what you want, but I wouldn't recommend it. Go ahead.
How he may please the Lord. But he that is married, care for the things that are of the world,
How he may what?
Please his wife.
Go ahead.
There is a difference also between a wife and a virgin. The unmarried woman care for the things of the Lord, that she may be Kadash both in body and in Ruach. But she that is married care for the things of the world, how she may please her husband.
And he said,
this I speak for your own profit, not that I may cast a snare upon you.
See, he said, I'm not trying to set you up for a trap, but you should be able to do what?
But for that which is comely, and that you may attend upon the Lord without distraction.
Because if you spare it, you're going to have a distraction. Because you know what happened when you get married? You start hunting. You start hunting, babies start coming. The babies start coming. Now, the level of dedication and focus you could have gave to Yahuwah before, you split that between him, your wife, and your kids. And vice versa. You know what I'm saying? But when you're unmarried, you can get your soul together. See, it's better to get your soul together than get married and try to get your soul together while married. Now, that's different if you were already married and you came into work, because this is not the type of scenario that he's discussing, because that's not the world that they lived in. Them people just didn't randomly hunch people and, oh, we got kids. And no, they didn't live like that. At least not they weren't supposed to. But in general, they didn't live like that. They were living foul. Don't get it twisted. But as far as how we live, some of them people would probably be in a culture shock if they could get in a time machine and see how the world is versus the world that they live in. They were doing some hunting, but not like how we doing. They usually did it in a temple to another god. See what you doing today? You harassing. Man, say you're tired of you breathing in this ear. Come on, Zip. Come to Exodus 30 and 70. Oh, you can finish that critical thoughts. But that's why I was mentioning all that, because that's the reality of it. You know what I'm saying? It's hard, but it's fair. Because at the end of the day, it's a straight gate and it's narrow. There's gonna be few that find it. See, that nigga back there a freak. Well, I mean, that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? It ain't wrong. You know what I'm saying? It ain't wrong. Because we don't consider these things because nobody puts these things on the table and make it plain. So they make it believe that you can really just have everything and it won't be no problems. And then you find out that that's not the case. And that's where it go into the pray not to enter into temptation. Blessed are those who enter into temptation and resist it. You know, lead us not into temptation, because you end up, because we always think temptation come about in the aspect of usually getting tested sexually. But temptation can take on many, many, many different forms. Because temptation just simply means to be tested and tried. And your testing and trying is your fidelity to your Elohim, or to your God, to your maker. And that's just not pertaining to physicality of course. Go ahead.
Verse 16 said, wherefore henceforth know we no man after the flesh, yea, though we have known the Mashiach after the flesh, yet now henceforth know we him no more. Therefore, if any man be in the Mashiach, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things are become new. And all things are of Elohim, who have reconciled us to himself by Yahushua HaMashiach, and have given to us the ministry of reconciliation.
And that was the part that I also wanted to add with the bearing the iniquity of the congregation. He said he gave us the ministry of what?
Reconciliation.
Let me ask y'all a question. Do you believe that the sons of Aaron also had the ministry of reconciliation? And if so, how would you prove it? Remember, what does reconciliation mean by definition? Whether in Hebrew or Greek.
I say no because they don't have the blood of bulls and goats. That can't reconcile. They can't reconcile. They could have. That's all they can do. All
It ain't make nobody perfect.
no, they didn't.
You double down on that bit?
That's all I got.
What about you, Sid?
Yeah, they have to do it every year. Like I said, the Mashiach only had to do it once.
Now listen, I'm not talking about in the aspect of were they able to accomplish what Yahushua was accomplishing.
Well, in that instance, I'll say that was their service, essentially. Yeah.
Because they did have the ministry of reconciliation. That's why I asked, what does reconciliation mean by definition? Who can tell me what reconciliation means in Hebrew, the Hebrew word? Who can tell me? See, give them the Greek word.
That is catalasso. You got to change, exchange. You got to reconcile those who are at variance, to return the favor with, to be reconciled to receive one into favor.
This reconciliation of Leviticus, That's kafar to atone. To atone.
I mean, they had a ministry of reconciliation. Now, the effect of their ministry of reconciliation is lesser than the one the Lord had. But I'm mentioning that is because if they bear the iniquity of the sanctuary, and they bear the iniquity of the tabernacle of the congregation, and they bear the iniquity of the assembly, they were literally a foreshadowing of the ministry of reconciliation because effectively that was their job. You know, we can read about many sacrifices that they had to make what? To make atonement. Not the atonement on the 10th day of the 7th month, but they had to do that to make them be back with God or in favor with God. Now, of course, it's not the same as what Yahushua did because he corrected the breaking of the covenant. Just talking.
That's why I use that scripture. He said blood and goats couldn't atone. I mean, they.
Well, he didn't say he couldn't atone. He said he wouldn't make him perfect. Read that for him. That's Hebrews 9 and 13. Hebrews 9 and 13.
Take forth the blood of bulls and of goats and the ashes of a heifer, sprinkling the unclean, sanctified to the purifying of the flesh. How much more shall the blood of a Mashiach, through the eternal rock, offer himself without spot,
Matter of fact, make it 9. And that's just saying that the performance of it. But effectively, the Levi's job, because remember, they the ones who made the reconciliation. Because they had to offer the atonement. But they had to do it every year because it didn't make the covenants perfect. But their job effectively was still reconciliation.
So which was a figure for the time then present, in which were offered both gifts and sacrifices that could not make him that did the service perfect, as pertaining to the conscience, which stood only in meats and drinks and divers washings, and carnal ordinances imposed on them until the time of Reformation. But a Mashiach being come a high priest of good things to come by a greater and more perfect tabernacle, not made with hands, that is to say, not of this building, neither by the blood of goats and calves, but by his own blood, he entered once in the Kadash place, having obtained eternal redemption for us. For the blood of bulls and of goats, and the ashes of a heifer, sprinkling the unclean, sanctified to the purifying of the flesh, how much more shall the blood of a Mashiach, who through the eternal Ruach offered himself without spot to Elohim, purge your conscience from dead works to serve the living Elohim?
That's good. Now, I'm just showing the framework of a shadow, because they did the reconciliation of the sanctuary. See, read 2 Chronicles 29 and 22. We talk about that during unleavened bread.
So they killed the bullocks, and the priest received the blood and sprinkled it on the altar. Likewise, when they had killed the rams, they sprinkled the blood upon the altar. They killed also the lambs, they sprinkled the blood upon the altar. They brought forth the he-goats, the sin offering before the king and the congregation, and they laid their hands upon them. The priests killed them. They made reconciliation with their blood upon the altar to make an atonement for all Yasharal. The king commanded that the burnt offering and the sin offering should be made for all Yasharal. And he said,
That's good. Now, remember, we talk about a foreshadowing, because the foreshadowing of the Levitical priesthood is a foreshadowing to the ministry of reconciliation. Because remember, Paul said we've been given the ministry of reconciliation. Who are those individuals in that particular priesthood performing reconciliation for? I mean, well, who the ones doing it? Because it was the priest before, so who's doing it now? If the priest did, what's happening, y'all? If the priest did the service of reconciliation before, and Paul just said he's giving us the ministry of reconciliation, who's doing the ministry of reconciliation now?
that's the pastors.
Yeah, that's your apostles, that's your prophets, that's your pastors, that's your teachers, that's your evangelists. They the ones doing it. Because it's the service of reconciliation. That's literally what the Levites were doing, what the priests were doing. The services of reconciliation. The service is just different, with a different effect and a different result. One was of the flesh and one is of the spirit. You know what I'm saying? Effectively, well, what you mentioned, though, we could do the contrast. One is new covenant, one is old. You know what I'm saying? There's one is the tree of knowledge of good and evil, one is the tree of life. You know what I'm saying? Because one, you got to keep coming back every year, or depending on what it is, you got to keep coming back depending on what the offering is. Because you got to give an atonement offering when a woman have a baby. You do that? You do that? You ain't have no baby. How many Leviticus 12? And then we'll read Exodus 31 and 17.
And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Yasharal, saying, If a woman have conceived seed and born a man child, then shall she be unclean 7 days, according to the days of the separation. For her infirmity shall she be unclean. And in the 8th day the flesh of this foreskin shall be circumcised. She shall then continue in the blood of her purifying 33 days. She shall touch no hollow thing, nor come into the sanctuary, until the days of her purifying be fulfilled. But if she bear a maid child, then she shall be unclean 2 weeks, as in her separation. She shall continue in the blood of her purifying 66 days. And the days of her purifying are fulfilled for a son and for a daughter. She shall bring a lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, and a young pigeon or a turtle dove for a sin offering unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation unto the priest, who shall offer it before
You got to pull that back up there. See, so it says she got to bring it to the what? See?
the door of the tabernacle of the congregation unto the priest.
So hold on. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Just to show the door of the tabernacle that we have. I think that was it right there.
Okay.
Boom. That's where they got to stop. She can bring it right there, and that's it. She can't go no further. Right there to that door. Because this one here, obviously, this one is not allowed. But what y'all think this moving tabernacle represents? Because they had to take it down, rear it up, carry it from place to place. And this goes into what's in Ezekiel. Y'all know what he said he'd be to you in Ezekiel? Ezekiel 11.
Trying to make a sanctuary.
Say that I would be a sanctuary in all the places where you're scattered. Which is the same as this here, because this was a sanctuary that could be picked up and moved. Because remember, if the temple was in a fixed place, effectively just similitude-wise, that means Yahuwah is not with you wherever you go. But in this instance, Yahuwah was with them wherever they went. Because wherever they went, they had to do what? Take this down. Remember, we read about it. They had to put the covering veil over the table. You had to put all that stuff, and they would pick it up and move it. And then they would rear the tabernacle up again wherever they stopped at in their journeys. So this is part of the reason why Ezekiel 11 say that I'll be a sanctuary to you in all the places that you're scattered, because I'll be with you. The Kadash will always be with you wherever you go at, because it was never about a physical temple. That was Yahuwah fulfilling something that David wanted. And of course, testimony-wise, because what happened to the temple? What happened to the first temple? What did that represent? Breaking of the first covenant and the destruction of Yahushua. Because what did he say in Amos 9? I will rear up the tabernacle of David, which is fallen. So then they rebuild it. Then it get destroyed again. And then he said he's going to make you a temple made without what's it? Showing you the framework of that which is eternal. But go ahead with the Leviticus 12. Go ahead. That's it. When you turn to here and play the drums, who can play the drums?
Khalil.
Let me rephrase that. Who can play the drums well?
Khalil.
He play well.
Yes, he do.
Where he at?
He back.
Go ahead.
He said, Who shall offer before Yahuwah and make an atonement for her, and she shall be cleansed from the issue of her blood.
Notice what we dealt with. It said to make an atonement for her. This is what part of the stuff we were talking about when we were talking about uncleanliness. But that's literally a service of reconciliation for her. But they're making an atonement for her. Well, let's get to the anointing oil and the perfume. You remember the perfumes in it?
That's one you couldn't copy, right?
Yep. Exodus 31 and 17.
So 31:17.
Yep.
He said, it's a sign between me and the children
Or
of
13
Israel.
to 17, my bad.
Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, you shall also make a laver of brass, and his foot also of brass, to wash withal. You shall put it between the tabernacle of the congregation and the altar. You shall put water therein. For Aaron and his sons shall wash their hands and their feet thereof.
They didn't have none of this. Well, none of that stuff we looked at had the labor for the water in it, did it? I don't recall. Yeah, they left that part out. But they're supposed to be effectively like a, I don't know I don't know what the equivalent in this time I would call it for. Tell them what labor means by definition. Maybe help out. I don't want to say a bucket.
That's kiyor, a pot, a basin, a laver,
Yeah,
or a
basin.
pan.
That's what I'm looking for. Now notice, right? Let me ask y'all this question. Let me do this. Go to John 13. Give me 13 and 13.
You call me master and Lord, and you say, well, for so I am. If I then, your Lord and master, have
Back it up. Give me 7.
Yahushua answered and said unto him,
Slow on, brother Shaw.
what I do, you know not now, but you shall know hereafter. Peter said unto him, you shall never wash my feet. Yahushua answered him, if I wash you not, you have no part with me. Simon Peter said unto him, Lord, not my feet only, but also my hands and my head.
So stop. We all know about Yahusha washing these men's feet on Passover. How does that relate to the law, though?
That's in Exodus 31.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned that, because we're reading it. That one make so people caught that.
They had to wash their hands and feet before they entered to the work of tabernacle.
Yeah, but we talked about it in a while. That they finna be priests and the priesthood of Melchizedek, so their feet, oh, there it is right there. But see, they got it outside. But what you read in here, that's supposed to be inside. Read it again, Civic. Verse 17, Exodus 30.
And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, you shall make a laver of brass, and his foot also of brass, to wash withal. You shall put it between the
No,
tabernacle.
they got it.
You shall put it between the tabernacle of the congregation and the altar.
So you see this right here? That's what he read. That's where they gotta wash their feet at. Keep on going, Civic.
You shall put water therein, for Aaron and his sons shall wash their hands and their feet therein.
Stop. Aaron and who?
And his sons.
So Yahusha is Aaron and the disciples are who?
His sons.
But how they his sons though? You thought you got off easy, didn't you?
What was the question? My bad.
No, I'm talking to Sid.
Oh.
Come on, Sid. Well,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What was the question you asked? I didn't hear the question.
I ain't finna help him out.
No, I just wanted to know the question.
I know, but I ain't finna help him out. He's gonna have to walk this tightrope. Trying to get him off the hook. He said, we had him off the hook. We had him, and we let him off the hook. He's struggling. You need a lifeline, Cindy, because he's struggling. I said, how they are his sons?
Cool. Please don't say what you about to say.
The last that muffin giving gonna spare you. I ain't gonna do it to you.
Thank you.
Nah, nigga, these nuts.
As I said, don't need to say
Nah, but all to the side. It said that brazen is for Aaron and his sons. He said that Yahusha is Aaron and the disciples are his sons. How are the disciples his sons? You niggas phone going off in my classroom.
I was thinking like more so.
Pieces on all of them.
I mean, it's probably an answer that you have, but I was just more so thinking like, when Romans was like, you know, the spirit of Yahushua.
Hold on. Isaiah 8 and 17. Is it 17? Make it 16. Go ahead.
And I'll wait up, Bind up the testimonies, seal the law among my disciples. And I will wait upon Yahuwah that hide his face from the house of Jacob, and I will look for him. Behold, I and the children whom Yahuwah have given me are for signs and for wonders in Yasharal from Yahuwah of hosts, which dwell in Mount Zion.
The apostles are his sons because they born of him. So that's why they born of him to minister in the priest's office. Therefore, that's why he had to wash their feet in John 13. The same way that he had to be baptized for him to perform in the priest's office in another place in the law. But come on back to Exodus so we can get on all of this. Now, of course, you know he in every line, and we ain't been in the law like this in a while, so you can see how he fulfilled things in the law, but not, people wanted him to fulfill things in the law the way they feel like it should be done in the priesthood fashion, and not in an actual fashion, tangibly showing you this man is written up. Go ahead. Verse 17 again.
And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, You shall also make a laver of brass, and his foot also of brass, to wash withal. You shall put it between the tabernacle of the congregation and the altar.
For Aaron,
You shall put water therein, for Aaron and his sons shall wash their hands and their feet thereat.
when they go,
And so the tabernacle of the congregation
they shall wash.
with water, that they die not.
Or when they come near,
To the altar to minister, to burn offering made by fire unto Yahuwah.
so shall they wash their hands,
And their feet,
that they,
die not,
it shall be a statute.
forever to them, even to him and to his seed throughout the generations.
That's why he said, if you don't let me wash you, you have no part with me. Because you can't minister with me if I'm not able to do this for you. Which ironically, you see Peter, you just read it, what Peter asked him to wash. My hands and my head too. And what the law says supposed to get washed besides the feet. Okay, come on with it.
Moreover, Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, Take you also unto you principal spices of pure myrrh, 500 shekels, and of sweet cinnamon, half so much, even 250 shekels, and sweet calamus, 250 shekels,
And cassia,
500 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, and of oil olive, a hin. You shall make it an oil of Kadash ointment, an ointment compound after the art of the apothecary. It shall be a Kadash anointing oil.
and you shall do what?
Anoint the tabernacle of the congregation therewith, the ark of the testimony,
And,
the table and all its vessels,
and,
the candlestick and its vessels,
and,
the altar of incense,
and
the altar of burnt offering with all its vessels, and the laver in its foot.
you shall what?
Sanctify them, that they may be most Kadash. Whatsoever touch them shall be Kadash.
Go ahead.
You shall anoint Aaron and his sons and consecrate them, that they may minister unto me in the priest's office.
You shall speak.
Unto the children of Yashua, saying, This shall be a Kadash anointing oil unto me throughout your generations.
Upon man's flesh,
Shall it not be poured?
neither shall you make.
Any other like it after the composition of it. It is Kadash, and it shall be Kadash unto you.
Go ahead.
Whosoever compound any like it, whosoever put any of it upon a stranger, shall even be cut off from his people. Yahuwah said unto Moses,
Now notice, he said they couldn't put it on there, but this take you when you look at Acts 10 with the Gentiles receiving the Spirit. But we'll touch on that some next week. Go ahead.
Yahuwah said unto Moses, Take unto you sweet spices, stacked of nitre and galbanum. These sweet spices with pure frankincense, of each shall there be a like weight. You shall make it a perfume, a confection after the art of the apothecary, tempered together, pure, Kadash.
What did we read earlier about spices in John 19? Oh, y'all forgot?
Somebody anointed him with the spices.
When they anointed him with the spices for his burial. It's the same token he putting on a linen outfit to show you that he gonna be the high priest upon his resurrection. Go ahead.
And you shall beat some of it very small, and put of it before the testimony in the tabernacle of the congregation, where I will meet with you. It shall be unto you most Kadash.
Now, we're looking at that anointing oil. They had to anoint all the vessels of the sanctuary, along with those who minister in the priest's office. So, I know we didn't get on Bezalel and the lower half as I would have desired to, because I forgot about them. But, Lord willing, next week, we'll look at that anointing oil with the anointing, and then look at each vessel that has to be anointed, and how some of those things either relate to Yahusha or relate to the people, because obviously that anointing oil represents what? The Ruach. And those vessels who are anointed with the Ruach, so it'd be what? Kadash and me for the master's use, like we talked about last night. So, we'll cease and desist right here. So we'll say hallelujah for Yahusha, the word. That's right, Sister Mary, for the consecration. So y'all willing, we'll be back next on Wednesday. Remember what that is, what day Pentecost on the 31st?
Yeah, Sunday.
So Sunday the 31st is when we have our observation for Pentecost. The start time will be 2:30. What that is, that building in Brentwood, ain't it?
Yeah.
So we're gonna be in Brentwood, which really ain't too far from where we at right now. Y'all know where that's at? Y'all know where that building at? I know you don't know, boy. You don't even know how to drive. You just be in the car riding. You don't know where you going.
Let's see how Sunday.
So, yeah, peace, brother Oman, man. Shalom, Sister Regina. Yeah, so y'all we'll be back next week, but just remember that Sunday we'll have service at 2:30. So we're gonna keep on looking at some of these things in the temple and the contrast and comparison, testimony, and so on and so forth. But I appreciate y'all. Bless y'all the house of Elohim in the name of Yahushua, and y'all will until the end. Yeah. Okay, well, your